Echo off somebody.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Tok, and welcome to JV Live on Friday, November the 20th. We've actually had a show now pretty much every Goran week. Even when I wasn't here, there was a show, which is awesome. Well done, everybody.
See, automatic shows.
Yeah, and now that Martin actually has access to the Oxymoron YouTube, we can do it on the Oxymoron YouTube next time we're not here, and it's all easy and set up and done.
Can I?
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll talk you through it.
Yeah. Not now. We can do it later.
Yeah, we'll do it later. I'm not doing it now because...
I don't think anyone wants to see that.
No.
Yeah, David, I can see you.
Good evening, David.
Good evening.
Nice of you to actually join us in person as well as in the chat.
Ah, thought it was about time.
Just on time as well.
Unfortunately, this does mean we have no viewers so far this evening.
No, there's 4 online.
Yeah, us.
That's me, Martin, David, and you.
It's 4 viewers, shut up.
Yeah, we just
Still
got
counts. Fuck well.
We're just viewing it ultra live, that's all.
Totally.
And I haven't even logged into chat yet.
So, just for the sake of going through the rigmarole of the usual shite, I'll go through the panel and everybody can say their hellos. That usually kills a good 10 minutes. Martin, would you like to say hello?
Hello. There you go.
Cramnish. Keith.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Oh yeah, of course, because I mentioned the fact that usually this part kills 10 minutes. You both just go.
See, it's because you said that we're deliberately not so high. Do you want to start over or something? Fuck's sake, man.
No, we're going. We're live.
We're going.
This is the Oxymoron School of YouTube.
Yeah, this is it's just do shit.
Once we're live, and then we just talk.
No plan, no clue, no fucking idea.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I get called a retard on my video, by the way. Did you see that? The comment on the Battlefront video.
No.
I replied.
Pilot, I've not watched your video yet.
Oh, fuck's sake. Who hired him?
I'm sorry, I didn't have a spare hour and a half to sit down and watch a video.
It doesn't have to be an hour. You could watch 5 minutes here and there. Jeez.
No, I like to sit down and watch it all.
Okay.
He does.
He's a connoisseur of videos, you see.
I suppose.
Ryan will tell you, I've been through most of the videos that are on the Oxymoron
Really?
channel.
That's quite impressive. Even I've not done that.
Neither have I.
Sorry,
Did you watch them or did you just start them playing and go make a cup of tea?
I totally interrupted everybody saying hello. Fucking hell, sorry.
Well, like Ryan said, it does kill 10 minutes.
That's true. I guess it worked out in the end then, didn't it?
I would just like to go to the Battlefront video and just say, and quote, "Yay, Battlefront!" It was good of you to keep that bit in the video.
Yeah, I thought I can't take that out because I was just super excited, and I'm still super excited because it was so much fun.
So anyway, where did we get to? Oh, Gords, would you like to say hello to the people who aren't currently watching us?
Not really, no. Hello everybody, welcome to the show. And particularly welcome to a dedicated viewer who has joined us tonight. Hello David.
Hello.
I know, that's killed our retention though, because I'm getting no retention whatsoever for the first 10-15 minutes of this show. So yeah, David, long time watcher, first time caller, I believe you mentioned earlier.
I think I said lurker, but yes, essentially. Watched some of the original ones, then sort of faded away, and then came back when the Just Vapes 2 went live rather than Just Vapes 1 for Rory. So, been around it a long time. Thought I might join in.
And why not?
Exactly.
It's always nice to have somebody else about from the woo.
The important question is, number one, what are you drinking? And number two, what are you vaping?
What am I drinking at the moment? I'm drinking hot tea with honey in it. Because I'm sort of overdosed on Lemsip and Locket and Strepsils at the moment.
That flu season.
Yeah, I've had one of the jitises, either Farron or bronchitis, and I'm just recovering. As for vaping, it's a mix of my own rhubarb and custard, and I'm dripping either the very last remains of my Elements, pink lemonade, or some stuff made by an octopus person called Squid Ink.
Never heard of it.
No.
Squink!
All hail our
I've never
glorious
heard of
sponsor.
it.
Sorry.
I wouldn't be wearing any merchandise or anything like that.
I can beat you on merchandise, Keith.
Yes, I know.
I got a banner. I got a T-shirt. I got a. Never.
I have a T-shirt too.
I just generally steal stuff from Jim every time I see him. And when I say steal, I mean borrow with very little intention to actually ever return.
Well, it'd be cursing me because I use his bottles for homebrew.
So do I, because they're squidgy.
Yep, likewise.
They are quite good bottles, aren't they?
The latest ones are harder plastic.
Yes, they are. That's because it's easier to bottle in larger quantities, because he's quite busy now. To
Yeah, I
actually,
don't know why.
I don't know.
Can't imagine why.
Yeah, I will go out on a limb and say that I very rarely actually buy e-liquid. I've been mixing my own now for like 2.5 years. I think, in fact, probably longer than that. It was only about 3 months into vaping that I decided to start mixing my own. And he's the only person I will go out of my way to buy from.
I've got to admit, I've had a 18-month sabbatical from buying juice, and Jim's is the only stuff I've bought as well.
I'm pretty much in the same boat. I picked up the Element because I ran out completely. And my normal supply of rhubarb juice, Lakeland, had sold out. So I'm still trying to work my way through this bottle of Blue Murder, which I find just a little bit too sweet.
It is. I'll give you a tip from when I was at VapeFest. It does help when you spend about 60 quid on beer during the night. It really helps you with the vape and the sweet juices.
Get really fucking tanked.
Yeah, so all that money you
Really
spend
not.
on smoking, you now spend on beer.
Yeah.
I think that's perfectly fine.
But do you actually get through more of the beer than you used to the fags?
That's the issue. If I'm out vaping and drinking, I have to take like half a dozen fucking batteries. I have to take probably at least 30 or 40 millijuice. Just because everywhere I go, I won't go and drink somewhere if I can't sit and have a vape and a beer at the same time.
Question, is anybody else getting an echo from Ryan?
No.
Because I'm getting a terrible echo off you, Ryan.
What do you mean an echo? When I'm speaking, you're getting an echo?
Yeah, I'm hearing
Yes.
echo as well.
You've got some distortion of some sort, yeah, I think so.
Echo, echo, echo.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
Now
I'm getting
quiet.
happy.
It's usually guards, but
If Gord's isn't getting it, then it might be that Gord's mic is actually picking up the feed from the speakers as well.
We can deal with that.
make him sit in silence for 10 minutes as punishment.
I can still give you the fingers. Not a problem. Is that better?
I would say Gord's going, and now it's still getting a little bit.
No, I'm still getting an echo.
We'll deal with it. It's passable as long as I don't shout.
Ah, it's fine. Stuff it. It's
Yeah.
not too bad anyway, so.
In fairness, nobody's watching anyway.
This is also true.
This is pretty much just like every other Oxymoron stream.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I want to do another 24-hour stream, but I don't know what to stream for 24 hours. I was thinking, instead of doing a single game for 24 hours, what I might do is pick a series of games and play them for a couple of hours each.
Seriously, having watched it, I reckon you could do 24 hours on Mad Max.
Mm.
I really do. I'm very, very much into getting that game.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to get Mad Max when it first came out, but it was too close to everything else happening. So, because I had to spend quite a bit of money setting up ready for the 24-hour stream, I had to buy the capture card, I had to build the computer, I had to test the computer, I had to have days off work and such. So
See, that's a fucking dedication, that is.
Oh, we've got a viewer.
Well, shit, everybody act like you know what you're doing.
Hello, viewer.
Hi, Sean.
Everybody show your hands.
Why?
Wait, is this like
Tell
that
the
time
viewer
I...
now that you're not doing anything. that you
Oh, right.
Oh, it's like that time I got asked by the... Never mind.
My hands are occupied.
should- Yeah, we know what they were occupied doing as well.
Thanks
Cheers,
for your
Sean.
confidence.
Well, you say nothing on TV now, but you know, in a year's time, when JB Live gets a syndicated, you know, broadcast on like normal TV, there'll be something on TV. It'll probably be on a different channel to whatever JB Live's on, but there'll be something on TV, damn it.
Probably.
So, what would everybody like to talk about this evening, considering nobody ever actually wants to talk about anything, and then we just sit here for ages, and then we waffle on about something else for 2-3 hours?
I've got nothing vaping related to bring to the table. I've been furiously absent from vaping, other than that Mrs. Guards turned around and said I have to build a squonker.
I would like to talk
Yes.
something vaguely related. Sort of.
What would you like to talk about, Martin?
I miss Mark. Saturday shenanigans. Oh, he's been missing for too long.
Yes,
This
it
is
doesn't help that BT can't supply him with a stable internet connection.
Yes, they are a bunch of fucking arseholes.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty sure, wasn't the last one he actually did when it was here?
Yes, I believe so. That's what you should do. Get him over every Saturday night, and that way you can do. Yeah.
You should get him onto this show.
The issue there is if BT can't supply him with a stable signal,
It's a connection. Yeah, totally. You just
really no one else can either.
can't hold the connection to get him to connect to anybody. Oh, he can. You can get his audio on that through, but yeah, it's.
What sort of backward shithole is he living in if you can't get a stable connection?
It's down the road from me. So pretty backwards and pretty shitholey.
And also, yes.
No, I don't know. Worcester's not that bad.
He lives in Tolly.
Oh, okay. It shouldn't be too bad. They've got cable out there.
Across to see the other.
They got cable out there for about a week until somebody comes around and nicks it.
Yeah.
For anybody who's not from Worcester, Worcester is a lovely place. There are some really lovely places to live in Worcester. There are also some places that would make, you know, South Africa and like Brazilian fucking ghetto towns look like the Ritz.
Yes.
You know, I'm disappointed I didn't get across to see you last week. But when you say things like that, I'm kind of glad too. That
No,
sounds scary.
it is. No, I mean, there are. It's like anywhere. There's bad places and there's good places. I happen to live in now. I live in one of the areas that when I was growing up was one of the worst places to be. But now it's quite tame. So I mean,
Still
Ronkswood,
lock my doors when I drive past Ronkswood, though.
Hey. Perfectly safe up here. Well, it is for me anyway. I don't know about anybody else. I got family up here, mate. Nobody will fuck with. I'll tell you all about that off air. So yes, places to live. I used to live in Birmingham as well. That was a nice-ish place to live.
That's just that place is too big. That was just far too big. That was so far out of my comfort zone. It just wasn't even funny.
Yeah. Tell us about your visit to Birmingham, Martin.
It was good. And relatively enjoyed it. You know, going into Shady Vaping and what was the other one?
Grey Haze, maybe?
Yes, Grey Haze, that's the one. So it was nice going in there and seeing actual well-stocked, decent vape shops. Shady being the better of the two. The amount of stuff they had was stunning. I could have spent a fortune in there. Didn't, fortunately. But yeah, so that was nice. The hotel was alright. It was, considering the price of it, it was relatively comfy, although a bit boxy.
Uh-huh.
But nice. But yeah, that whole place just way too fucking busy, man. Way too many people.
Yes, that's why I stay away from there as well, mate.
That's just way too busy. Too
Yeah.
many folk, just too much noise. Oh my god.
Town centres suck if you're used to full climates.
See, this is the thing. I can head into Glasgow and Edinburgh and stuff like that, and it's not a problem. But in comparison, they're quiet. I can say that now. They're quiet places.
Yeah, but to be fair, you're not amongst foreigners as well.
Mm.
What it's like for us two going down to Birmingham.
Yeah, this is true.
Birmingham's a lovely place. I've spent many time in Birmingham.
Parts.
But no, it
Birmingham.
was nice. There was a couple of parks I had to pass through on the walk into the town, and they seemed quite nice.
Sean O'Toole says if you think Brum's bad, come to Derby.
See, this is the ridiculous thing as well. I don't know. I think part of the problem was that I was on my own as well up until Saturday evening. You know, trying to wander about on your own and, you know, think of things to keep you occupied and stuff was kind of tricky. I think it's ridiculous that we're going to London in February for the Walking Dead convention thing, which Kelly's also going to, so I'll get to see Kelly again in February. Yay! But I think we'll probably have an easier time with that because Can's going to be with me, so that kind of helps, I think. We'll see.
So you all ask why I do horrendous mileages and don't stop at places, but this is why. There's nothing worse than pulling up at a pub in the middle of fucking nowhere that you don't know anyone and trying to find a way of occupying yourself for, you know, hours and hours when you've been up at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Might as well just drive back.
That's why when I was younger and my dad was on the lorries, during the summer holidays, he used to take one of us with him. So like when he stopped, like when he'd done his delivery in Blackpool, at least he had somebody to walk across the Blackpool front with.
Mm.
And a reason to go in the shop and buy rock and stuff, because he's got 2-3 hours there where he can't do anything because of his driving hours.
Yeah.
And you can't just turn around and come back because you've got pickups you've got to do at certain times on the way back. But yeah, if you think Derby's bad, you should go to Dudley.
Yeah, right.
I think I can top that. Try Slough.
Milton Keynes, it's all fucking roundabouts.
Bracknell. No, Milton Keynes isn't roundabouts. Milton Keynes is that stupid grid system.
Oh yeah, what am I thinking is roundabouts?
Well, Bracknell or Swindon. all roundabouts.
There's one place we went, and I can't remember where it was we went. And the one-way system is such that if you don't take the right turn in half it, you've got to go the entire way around the one-way system again just to get to that turn in.
Sounds like Maidenhead.
Wolverhampton's a bit like that as well.
Now, Wolverhampton's alright. I know me where I'm
one-way system. Yeah, it's all one-way systems, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's all one-way systems around Worcester as well, and that's
It
shit.
is roundabouts in Milton Keynes. That's Sean saying he was there today.
You want to try getting around Liverpool?
The only time I've ever been around Liverpool was on foot, and I was making a beeline from pub to pub.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Driving, no. I don't recommend that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate in the fact that I can go up and down the country and pretty much find a decent real ale pub within 20
One
minutes.
second.
Because I have a nose for those sorts of things. And let's face it, my nose is fucking big enough.
The weather can just fuck right off.
Well, what's up with the weather?
Fucking snowing.
Bastard.
They said it was going to snow tonight.
They did. Well, they said it was going to snow last night, and it didn't. So it was like, bah, we're talking pish.
Well, apparently we're going to get snow here tonight, which I very much fucking doubt.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow here tonight, yeah.
Well, if you get it, Keith, we still might not get it because we're a bit further south than you.
Apparently the worst place on the planet is Bristol, Sean says.
No, no. The worst place on the planet is New York. Because it's full of very, very ignorant people.
New Yorkers have got that reputation
America.
about them, haven't they? From
Yeah.
sort of popular media and whatnot.
It's not popular media, mate. Trust me. It's not just a reputation that
It's absolutely well deserved, isn't it?
it's not something that's been fabricated. It is well deserved. Even the police force in New York are terrible. I got arrested for nothing. I might have got a little bit mouthy when they had arrested me, but other than that, I'd done absolutely nothing wrong. And
Well, you weren't in Austin. Did you see the guy got tasered for jaywalking?
yeah, I think
Really?
that's a perfectly
Yeah.
legitimate punishment.
Yeah, but it was basically like a tactical SWAT team came in and did it. Okay, they were on bicycles and in Lycra, like the American cops, a lot of them are, but it was crazy.
I just want to go back to this image of a tactical SWAT team on bikes wearing Lycra.
That certain states are having to return ex-military vehicles because they're now concerned that the police look too militarised in the states.
Yeah, that's part of the New World Order.
Yeah, but
So-
the problem with the states is you've got the citizens are allowed to carry and have weapons. In majority of the states, there's very few states that don't allow it. That don't allow an open carry.
There's a significant number of them that allow concealed carry, never mind open carry.
Right. But the problem what you get is escalation. Years ago, the police in the States just used to carry, like a 32.
Yeah, 38 revolver, the old police
Yeah.
special. That did them. They had a shotgun on the dashboard.
Yeah. Now they have to carry 9mm. And they've got automatic weapons on tap when they need them.
Yeah.
Because
Crazy, isn't it?
years ago, the cons used to be the ones carrying the shotguns, so the police started wearing body armor. Police wear body armor, the cons start carrying armor-piercing semi-automatic rifles.
And then you've got PD too.
It's been a while, actually. We do need to have a blitz.
We should.
Just going over to Sean, and yeah, I was out on Tuesday, and the winds were horrific. And I wasn't all that far from Lincolnshire either.
Didn't have to be in Lincolnshire, mate. Round here, I was walking from the office to the bus stop and nearly got taken off my feet half a dozen times. So God knows what it would have been like driving a big fucking curtain truck.
But it was worse on the roads.
Yeah, like the motorways and stuff, because they're so open.
It was worse on the roads yesterday. Yesterday I went up to Sheffield, from Sheffield down to Derby, did a job down there, and from there to Rugby, and then drove back. And the wind had calmed down a bit, but the rain, Jesus, the rain was horrendous between Derby and Rugby. I mean, I was down to like 10 miles per hour on A roads and motorways because the visibility was nothing.
Mm. Yeah, the drive down to Birmingham was a bit fun like that because it's quite heavy rain and wind, and of course it's virtually pitch fucking black because you can't put the big lights on. So yeah, that was a bit fun.
Took you a while, and all, didn't it?
He fucking 11. No, I left at 1. I arrived at
About 8, wasn't it?
like 10 hours. Aye, it should have taken like 7.
Yeah, that was a bad time to be leaving, actually.
It was all the roadworks. It took me. I mean, normally getting through from, say, Stirling through Glasgow and all the rest of it and out onto the motorway, which is a straight shot down the M6, that usually takes maybe half an hour, 20 minutes.
Did you get held up around Warrington?
Hmm?
Did you get held up around Warrington?
Uh,
Roads around here are horrendous at the moment.
Possibly, I'm not too sure. There was a big ass diversion on the M6 as well, which sent us off through Stone and whatnot. That's the only place I remember the name of on the way through. But big ass diversion off the M6 because part of the road was shut. But yeah, getting through Glasgow and whatnot took about twice as long as it should have done. About an hour and a half, 2 hours, just to get through that because of the traffic and roadworks and all the rest of it. So yeah, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, a lot of roadworks down this end as well, I should imagine.
There was a few, but none quite that bad. And I think that detour probably added on another hour, maybe.
Getting down to Brum has actually improved in the last few months.
Really?
Yeah, it has noticeably improved. A lot of the roadworks are calming down on. There's that stretch from junction 14 down to as you enter Brum. But even that has got better than it was a few months ago. But
Yeah, those sections weren't too bad, other than slowing you down a bit, because by the time of night it was and whatnot, you know.
But around our end, like junction 18 to junction 26 at the moment, every single day just stopped.
Mm. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't a bad drive or anything, it was just fucking long.
It would have been better if you had somebody there.
Yeah, the long drives on your own are always bad, though.
Yeah, I don't mind them too much, to be honest.
I don't know, do them at night, stick on an audiobook. The miles just melt away.
I was totally going to do that, and I forgot to put the audiobooks onto my MP3 player. I was like, shit, I'd left the house, or was leaving the house as I remembered, and it was like, I'm not spending that more time waiting. So, yeah. So I've still to start on the process of reading listening rather to Star Wars audiobooks.
Are those the Star Wars audiobooks that Gords gave you a list of a few weeks ago?
Yes, that's the one. Like 5 gigs worth of audiobooks. It's ridiculous.
Okay, we're talking about Star Wars, so go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Unleash the Star Wars information.
No, that was it. It was just I got the audiobooks and there was a stupid amount of them.
Well, just for those of us who aren't actually going to go and watch the Battlefront video available now on Oxymoron Gaming on the YouTubes.
I watched it live anyway, so
Doesn't
So raw.
It doesn't matter, you should still go and watch the video on the YouTubes.
I probably will.
Even if you just put it on, go and do something else and then come back when it's finished, I don't care. I want the retention time.
No, I will probably sit there and watch it and enjoy it, actually.
Do you want to press the thumbs up and like it and subscribe as well?
You're
Yeah,
not already
do that too.
subscribed?
Yes,
I
I'm
already subscribed.
already subscribed.
Good, because there's a shit ton of Fallout 4 footage coming.
I think I saw a lot of that live.
Yeah, that's coming, but there's a shit ton of Fallout 4 stuff coming. Mate, I've actually completed the story now on Fallout 4. I can't talk about it because there's an embargo on. Anybody who doesn't know about the embargo, we're not allowed to talk about Fallout 4 story points for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a long time in video game terms, so we got like another week and a half left, okay?
Cool.
So if you are playing it, I don't want to know any of the story points for the other ways of doing it. I went one way, and I'm not even going to tell you which way I went because that might ruin the story. So, yeah, but it's
Did
fun.
you do that wee Covenant Town bit yet?
Covenant Town?
The wee town called Covenant. No? Not ringing bell?
I should think obviously not, seeing it as he hasn't jumped up and said, yeah, I'll finish that.
Indeed. It's quite a memorable wee bit, so yeah, I would have thought so. You should find that. It's quite fun.
Have you done the USS Constitution yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude.
You need to do that one.
You need to do it. And Jim messaged me today, he asked me if I'd been to the Dunwich excavation.
Oh, brilliant. Yay. I have to find that now too.
Yeah, I know, that's on my list of things to do now. So, but I've got so many fusion cores, it's unbelievable. When they said about the power armor being limited use and stuff, I was like, oh, okay. So for hours and hours into the game, I wasn't using power armor.
I haven't been using it at all.
I've used it like I think I used it a couple of times when we were doing the stream.
Mm-hmm.
When I say we were doing the stream, I mean
you were doing the stream. Mm-hmm.
I was doing the stream, and everybody else was popping in and out, going to bed and having stuff to eat. Keith,
Yeah, how dare us have lives?
yeah, goddamn. Keith. Seriously, there's no point showing me that. I already own the Game of the Year edition, physical copy on PC.
I've still got to do that yet.
Hey!
I own Game of the Year edition
well
on
spent.
Steam. I got a free copy of Fallout 3 when I brought Fallout 4 for the Xbox. Which reminds me, Gords, if you get your 360 back and you want a copy of Fallout 3, let me know because I've still got the code.
I've got
Have you already got it?
Yeah.
Because I've already got the Game of the Year edition discs, and now Fallout 3 is backwards compatible to the Xbox One. I don't need the code, if that makes any sense. Because the code's only for the core game anyway. It's not Game of the Year, unfortunately, which is a bit sad. But yeah, if you don't already own Fallout 3, there is something seriously going wrong. Even at the full price on Steam of like 15 quid, it's still worth it.
Well, yes, Sean, Battlefront's amazing. Anyway, that was from chat. What was I going to say? You should maybe use that Fallout 3 code and use it for a wee giveaway on the channel or something.
Yeah, I
No one
probably
you know
will
needs it.
do.
Good idea.
Because we've got to have a hell of a lot of Star Wars content coming up over the next couple of weeks leading to the release of the new film.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody else on YouTube is doing Fallout 4 stuff, so I'm sort of waiting for them to sort of stop doing Fallout 4 stuff.
There's an awful lot of streaming of Battlefront going on,
Yeah, just because it's just come out.
but not so much on YouTube by the looks of things.
YouTube is my preferred medium to stream to, because it's such a better service. But Twitch has people watching.
Yeah.
I realised why the stream was going a little bit jumpy when I was doing a 24-hour stream now. My upload was only set to 2500.
Aha.
Where I found 3500 is a nice happy medium. Any faster than 3500, and a lot of people have trouble watching it because it will just stop the buffer.
I think mine's set at 3200. Yeah. Not sure.
You should be alright at that.
Well, I have a 12 meg upload speed, so I'm not really worried about doing 3500.
Indeed.
because that's like what 3.5 meg.
Uh-huh.
I could stream doing that and upload to YouTube at the same time.
Yeah. Well, you could do that. You could probably stream to both Twitch and YouTube at the same time.
Yeah, I could, but that means setting up extra software and stuff, and it took me long enough to set up that thing for the Twitch stream where when somebody subscribed, it popped up on
It
the
pops up
screen.
saying, "Yay, we've got a subscriber!"
By the way, are you using that?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a brilliant little program. It's kind of cool.
it is quite handy.
As long as you've got to place it in the right place. Like I said though, it depends what game you're playing to where you're placing your camera and whatnot.
That's one thing I wanted to talk to you. Cool. I'll talk to you about it after the show. I think we should get an overlay or something designed. It could be quite cool.
We could do. That would fall probably on my shoulders.
Well, you've got the Photoshop skills and shit. I don't. I could do one in paint, but it would look like shit. Although, it might be quite funny.
Well, all the retro and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, totally. It wouldn't even be retro, it would just look like a fucking kid done it. It would look like a 3-year-old.
That's not a bad idea. Get the 3-year-old to design it, and then when somebody feels that looks like shit, you can go, hang on a minute, my 3-year-old made that.
That's a really good idea.
What do you mean oxymorons spelled wrong? 3 years old.
I'm not that bad.
Oxymoron's a big word. Somebody asked me why I'd called the channel Oxymoron not a while back, and I was like, just go and look at the definition of oxymoron. An oxymoron is it's a contradiction in terms, basically, like mournful optimism or happy sad.
Yeah.
Those sort of things. So oxymoron gaming is because generally while we're playing the games, we're not actually talking about games. Especially when we're streaming together, we end up talking about other stuff.
Yeah, we do. Actually, we should do more of that as well.
What, streaming together? Yeah, well, that's the idea about getting all these people together that I know, because like Fatboy's got his people that he can pull in and stuff, and I've got my people I can pull in, but I don't trust them. That's the reason I fucking throw them. It's like the lot that I play GTA with. It's great, but I just can't trust them not to say something that shouldn't be said on YouTube. Believe it or not, when I'm playing and I'm streaming and stuff, I do try and watch my language.
I don't. Well, I do. A bit.
Yeah, but you're generally not as crass as I am anyway.
Yeah, I suppose. What was my last utterance on that Doom 3 highlight? Fuck.
Yeah, your Doom 3 stream was quite a short one.
Yeah, it was. It was short for a reason. It's because, yeah, there was plenty more of it, but I thought, nah, you know what, I'm not stringing that all together because it's just far too many sweary words. And now that my kids have found the channel, I'm like, yeah, I can't put that there.
That's why we need to set up an Oxymoron After Dark playlist, which is a completely, utterly not safe for work. Do not listen in the company of honest, good people.
Unless you have headphones on. But yeah, I felt really bad playing that Doom 3 mix. I thought you might think I was talking to you. All these sweary things.
By the way, Sean has said, don't any of you use Dolby Axon for multiplayer?
What's Dolby Axon?
Well, I was thinking the same thing, actually.
So that would be a big
system
ass
with
no.
just slightly less hiss.
What was that again, David?
Is it a multiplayer system with just slightly less hiss?
Oh, you mean sort of like TeamSpeak and...
Maybe.
I use Discord.
You know what? We're all sitting in front of computers. Why don't we just fucking Google it?
Yeah.
Because this is JV Live. I've already got 2 windows open. How many windows do I have open?
I've only got 3, 2, 4. 4. Yeah, 4.
Because I haven't got Facebook up, so if
Surround
anyone has...
sound voice chat for gamers.
Ah.
That's what it is.
Same voice chat for gamers.
Uh-huh.
I haven't got a surround sound system, so I know I don't bother.
I have, but
I always
have-
use...
It's Dolby Axon. It's voice
I haven't.
surround sound. It's your strategic advantage. It's the sound you heard, the life you saved. It's a rush of adrenaline. Like, shut the fuck up. The life you saved. It's a rush of adrenaline, the planning, the victory that made it all worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty standard
Apparently you
fucking
can
marketing
download
speak
it.
thing, that, isn't it?
Free desktop.
I was going to read it.
Any voice chat available.
Well, apparently it's what the pro gamers use, so no, we're never ever going to use it.
Never!
I'd rather use Discord. It's a relatively new program, but it works almost the same way as TeamSpeak, except instead of having to set up your own server or use one of their servers, it uses the local server and then people connect to you.
Mm.
And you can have it on the tech voice, but it picks it up straight away.
Yes.
So you don't get, like with TeamSpeak, if you've got the tech voice on, sometimes the first half of the word is cut off.
Yeah.
Which when you're playing certain games can mean the matter of between living through what's going on and dying horribly and embarrassingly in front of everybody.
Yes.
But again,
Which is what I do most of the time in multiplayer games anyway.
Well, just wait until I get everybody playing the original Day of Defeat, because I pick up grenades. That was a brilliant thing about that game. The Germans would throw a stick grenade at you, and if you were quick enough, you could pick it up and lob it back. Unless you got a sticky keyboard, in which case you kill everybody who stood next to you.
and you get the blame for the kill too. Yeah.
Your
But no,
voice
the-
comes from the direction of your position and uses hardly any BW.
Bandwidth.
It does sound like a good idea, but unless somebody actually has a surround sound system and uses it, it's not. Well, it depends how good your headset is. Even stereo ones can do emulated surround, but yeah, just on your kit.
To be honest, the rules are with any Oxymoron live stream, especially when we're playing multiplayer, is you got to have headphones on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of a mute point. There's no point in having it.
Yeah, basically,
the
no
virtual
point
sound,
having
yeah.
surround sound, is it?
No, I like surround sound. You can get surround sound headsets. I've had a couple, and they are really, really good. And they work.
But expensive, I'm guessing.
No, not at all.
No, they don't
They're relatively well.
in headsets. And I'm sort of, since I'm only really going to use them for gaming and stuff, I'll probably buy a surround sound headset. But that Dolby Axon setup, that's largely going to depend on the mic that's with the headset as well. If the mic's like most of the ones I've looked at and it's sort of shite, then you're not getting a great deal.
Yeah.
True.
A lot of it is, I don't know how to explain it. But with a lot of these systems, it's not the bandwidth that they use that's the issue, it's the CPU that they use. TeamSpeak is really fucking low CPU usage. It's like 5% at maximum, I think, something stupid.
Yeah.
And Discord's the same. Skype, without the fucking cameras, is roughly about 20% CPU use.
Really?
Okay, now.
Wow, that's harsh.
Very.
It's about 26-27% with the camera.
Wow, that's pretty bad.
And it depends on the camera you're using. I use this one, which is supposed to be 1080p, although to be honest, it's only 720, I think. So and I'd never have the lighting set up properly, so it never looks right anyway.
That's the worst thing about cameras. I mean, my phone camera's actually pretty decent, but it's just the lighting screws everything up.
Yeah, well, what I need to do is I need to build a frame around the back of the desk and get some LED shit going on. But then I need LEDs coming at me, and then I need LEDs above me as well to get rid of shadows.
It's all about the lighting with the cameras.
Yeah. And honestly, that's too much of a fucking bollock.
Well, I'm going to do it anyway because I'm going to green screen. Because starting next year, I'm going to start doing Oxymoron News once a week.
Okay.
Which
You know,
is-
next year's like 6-7 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
It's alright. Just checking.
Which is going to be me stood in front of a green screen telling the news, and then we'll have like a fake TV like here, and then I can just put the image in the fake TV,
Right. That'll be fun.
and then I'll just steal the BBC News or the Sky News background, so it looks like I'm in an office full of people.
Cool.
It'd be great.
So I thought we'd do something like that because my streaming gets curtailed slightly by Karen when she wants to go to bed. 'Cause-
Sean's saying the
Bed's there.
Corsair set that he's got is 36 quid.
Yes,
I'm assuming
Corsair.
that's a surround set.
Corsair
Of
is a really good kit.
Yeah, Corsair's a good brand as well.
Oh, no, I thought Corsairs just made power units and things like that.
No, they
do
make everything now.
They've got keyboards, they've got headsets, they've got mice, the works. I've got a Corsair keyboard and it is
yes.
awesome.
I was going to say, Corsair makes some of the best mechanical keyboards.
Yeah, they do memory as well, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sean, I've got Windows 10 loaded up on this that I'm using. And the cameras I'm using, the camera that I'm using is an Asda's home brand, and I literally plugged it in and it worked.
I use a HP one.
I'm on Windows 7, so I'm no use to.
I'm on Windows 10. I've got one of the Logitech C920 things. Works fine.
I
Brilliant
use my
camera.
phone. Yep. Droid cam. Brilliant little bit of kit. I can just use my
We
mobile.
need to get you a proper webcam.
Why? What's wrong with that?
Because I can't hack the phone when you're out.
Yeah, and here's why I'll keep using my phone.
No, I wouldn't do it. I don't even know if that's even possible anymore.
It is. It's
Yeah, it probably
so
is.
out here.
It's so many levels above my skill level that it's unbelievable. Yeah,
But no.
920 should work fine.
Download the latest drivers from Logitech.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you go on Logitech's website, make sure you get the brand new drivers, and then you should be fine.
Just for reference, my camera is a Logitech C270 HD.
C270s are good. That's the one that was one of the first 720p cameras.
Yeah.
So if you were to buy a headset with surround sound directly off of Corsair, you are looking at 53 quid. 54. And that's for a 7.1 surround.
eBay.
So there you go. And you'll probably get it cheaper on Amazon anyway.
Good luck with getting your Sphere to work, Sean. Nothing sort of more than about 3 or 4 years old hardware-wise peripherals is working. I went through all my old Wi-Fi dongles and external devices trying to get a setup for my conservatory, and nothing works. You download the drivers for Windows 8 and still wouldn't work.
I'm quite looking forward to plugging in my simulator joystick that I found the other day. And it's an Microsoft one.
Best of luck there.
I will say that it is, by my estimates, 17 years old. But it's got a USB connector, so I'm going to plug it in and just see for the novelty factor.
Is that one of the force feedback ones?
I said it was 17 years old. It's quite possible the last time I looked at it was about 15 years ago.
Yeah. So if that's one of the
Well,
old,
other than putting it
old...
back in its box the other week, it was down at my dad's. So I am going to fetch that up here and just plug it in for giggles.
You
I
might
will-
be surprised if that's one of the old force feedback Microsoft flight sticks. You might be pleasantly surprised. And plus, what you could do is put it on eBay because they sell for a fucking fortune.
I was going to say, if it doesn't work, even if it's one of the old Microsoft ones, it's going to be worth some dollar.
Oh yes.
It was worth some coin if I remember correctly when I fucking bought it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
It
weren't
worth more
cheap,
now.
but Sean says probably work better than the new crap.
Yes, probably
Yeah.
right. I've got the X52 Pro from Zaytech, and what a bollock it was getting this working when Windows 10. I put Windows 10 on. Just, fuck's sake.
See, I'm alright because the only thing I plug in is USB microphone, USB dongles, memory sticks and stuff like that, just for transferring from the laptop to the computer and the computer to the laptop. The webcam, and the Xbox controller. Now, if the Xbox controller didn't work, there'd be fucking issues.
There'd be major issues.
But I don't really use the Xbox controller for anything on the PC. It's just I like to know that I can plug it in and just lie on the bed and play modded Fallout if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Which reminds me, I really need to go and play some Skyrim Pandemic.
Oh, something I wanted to ask you, Ryan, while I'm thinking about it.
Slightly to the left.
Half-Life, what was it? Half-Life something was on sale on Steam for $5.99. Is it worth buying that?
It
Yes.
Depends which one it is. If it's the original Half-Life, no, because you can pick it up for a couple of quid.
No, it was Half-Life. Half-Life Source. That was it.
Half-Life Source is what you use for running all the Half-Life Source modded games and stuff like that. Gmod and stuff like that is all run off Source. So if you don't want to have to actually buy the Half-Life games to use, like Gmod and stuff like that, you can just buy the source code. But you're better off actually just buying a game and then going that way.
It was Half-Life Source, $5.99 on sale.
Yeah, there's Sean. Make the suggestion, get Painkiller. They're good fun.
I've already got Painkiller.
It's on the list, Sean. There's a list.
Painkiller's an awesome game.
We have a really long list of games, Oxymoron multiplayer games, because that's the way Oxymoron is going. We're going more into the multiplayer shit, and I am even going to end up playing World of Warships.
Oh, excellent.
I've got World of Tanks. I have World of Warships.
So I will just say now, it's been very nice knowing you all.
Dear.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, well, you say that now, but then there's other games like that I've played in the past, and I've not stopped playing them.
Yeah, like Fallout 4.
No, Fallout 4's only just come out. I've only got like 30, 40 hours into it so far.
Is that all?
No, it's actually nearer to 100, but I was trying to...
John, $5.99 for all of them on Steam.
Yeah,
6 plus 6 DLCs.
that'll be the one that you see in Keith. $5.99
What's that?
for the lot. $5.99 for all the Half-Life. So Half-Life 1, 2, Episode 1 and 2, and the in-betweeny extra bits.
Was it?
Yes, totally worth it.
I can guarantee you one thing, though. There won't be an episode 3.
No, probably not.
They have an issue over at Valve with the number 3, I think.
They do.
No, that was the Painkiller game.
Oh, was that Painkillers? Right.
I know in the description for this Half-Life thing, they said it was a enhanced edition.
It might be one of the Half-Life games with the source, so, or it could be.
Wait until the Christmas sales, and then you will get the entire fucking Valve fucking pack of every single game they've ever done for like a tenner.
I haven't got my Steam open at the moment, so I can't tell you. But I know it. I remember it said it was an enhanced edition.
I will say one thing quickly while we're talking about this. This is kind of the reason why developers prefer to develop for console than port to PC, because they make so little fucking money on PC, it's unbelievable. Well, the games are cheaper for a start. Fallout 4 from the store was £55, which I don't think is a bad price to pay considering how many hours I'm going to put into it.
Considering it that way, no. But 55 quid for a game on PC is a kick in the balls. That's just consoles inflating prices artificially. Because the consoles hardware makes a loss, they try to make their money back up on the game. On the game sales, as we all know. But that particular problem has pulled onto the PC and encouraged, shall we say, the prices up for PC games. And I totally disagree with that.
Although saying that, I mean, Fallout 4 on PC on Steam was only $39.99.
Was it? I think you said it was 50 quid or something.
No, 55 for the Xbox version.
Oh, sorry.
So I was looking.
Yeah, I mean, even still, 40 is artificially high for a PC release.
I was looking at Star Wars Battlefront earlier on, and I think I found that for I think it was 36.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
I got mine for 26.
I want to get Battlefront.
Yes,
The problem is, if I get Battlefront, I'm going to be like, do I play Battlefront? Or do I play Fallout?
That's the exact problem I had last night. I sat in the front of the computer for 2 hours and I couldn't decide what to do. And I never ended up playing anything.
Because then you waste your time thinking about it, and then like when you actually go and play Fallout, you'd be like thinking to yourself, I never wish I'd played Battlefront now. Not that Fallout's a bad game; it's a really, really good game.
Yes.
But I mean, for me, it doesn't. I can't. With Bethesda games, I can't kill my interest on them. I just keep playing and playing and playing and playing and playing until something else comes out that piques my interest enough to take me away from it. Because there's always so much to do. And I will say one thing, Bethesda have had pretty much a decent launch with Fallout 4 because there's only been one game-breaking bug that I know of.
Yep. Which is
fucking unheard of.
Aye. And a very pleasant change.
I am one of their biggest fans, and even I would have to admit that they balk almost every single release. Apparently, some people on PC are having minor issues, and they're inflating them to make them sound more serious. But what I found with a lot of these people who are doing it, I've asked them like their PC specs and stuff like that, and their specs are just under minimum. So I would say it's more of an issue with the computer hardware than it is the actual.
I don't know about that though, because Sav was having a lot of problems. She was trying to run the game, it wouldn't run, it kept crashing all the time, and her PC specs were way above the maximum.
Drivers are all updated and things.
What, fucking up on the startup?
Yeah, it would play, it would load, it would play for a bit and then crash. I think she's sorted it now.
It's a driver issue. That was addressed about an hour after launch by Bethesda. It was a driver issue.
Yeah, I know. She kept saying that there'd be a patch coming out or something eventually, but
well, a lot of people have said that Bethesda haven't done anything for the first 2 weeks. Well, the game's been out near a week and a half now, and people are saying Bethesda haven't done anything. I know for a fact that there's been almost 6 patches in the last week and a half. It's for the Xbox version anyway. I don't know about the PC version. But if a lot of people like me with the PC games, I just turn on Steam, walk away for 10-20 minutes and then come back, because I've always got updates and stuff that need to be done, so I just turn it on about half an hour before I know I want to use it and let it do its thing and then walk away and come back.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than going to the computer thinking, right, we're going to play a multiplayer game now. and then having to say to everybody, right, you're gonna have to give me half an hour. I've got updates.
The computer turns around and says, "Fuck you."
That's one of the problems with Guild Wars at the moment. There's been a couple of massive, great updates to it, and one of them was bigger than the initial download. So I wasn't very happy with that. Especially since I came down at 2 o'clock in the morning thinking, hey, I'll just have a quick game and then go back to bed.
I'm actually kind of happy now. I haven't installed Guild Wars on this new computer. I might do that tonight when I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Because it's not a small fucking download to begin with.
No, it's something like 20 odd gigs.
Yeah, about 25, 26 gigs, I think it is.
Let's have a look at what the folder is now.
But yes, if anybody would like to buy Oxymore on anything, then we would all love like shiny new SSDs.
Yeah, definitely.
Me first.
Do me first.
No.
I'll tell you what, I've got an old
Clearly more
60 gig
important than you.
OCZ that's just knocking around.
I've got to say,
Clearly, I need the SSD most.
Why?
I have got to say a big thanks to Sean, because Sean donated an SSD to me, and admittedly it's not a big one, but it's big enough,
You'll get your OS, you'll get a game.
to get it going. And the difference in booting up, even if you literally have, if you can only get hold of a tiny one and use it as your boot disk,
Yeah.
it's fucking awesome. It makes a huge difference to the computer.
So how big is the SSD that you've got then, Gords?
60 gigs, which I can't go to a shop and buy a 60 gig SSD. To my knowledge.
No, nobody does 60 gig anymore. I think the smallest you can get is probably 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been looked around. You can pick up 120 gig SSD for like 35 quid, 30, 40 quid.
Yeah. They're not expensive.
Not anymore.
But the thing is, it's like mine. I got that many fucking SATA drives on my motherboard that I could have probably. I think I've got 10 SATA drives. So, and I've got enough power cables as well, which is the odd thing. So I think I've got enough power cables to run 8 drives.
8?
Yeah.
I know that off my motherboard I can run 8 or 10 SATA drives.
You got 10 SATAs.
Yeah, it's quite stupid.
I never noticed. Never bothered counting.
I have no idea how many I've got.
But my sort of plan for upgrading it, because at the moment I'm running on, I've got a 60 gig SSD which I use as a boot disk, and then I've got a 120 gig drive that I ripped out of my old computer, and that's it for storage for me. So my plan is to probably upgrade the SSD or add another SSD, and then probably add either a hybrid drive or a normal HDD. But to be honest, I'm loving the performance of the SSDs. It does make life really, really pain-free.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I need at least 3, as stupid as it sounds. I need 1 for a boot drive. Then I need 1 to put some of my key programs on. And then I need another 1 for a scratch disk for when I'm using Photoshop and Premiere and stuff like that.
You can get away with an old smaller one of the old 60s for your scratch disk.
Yeah, I mean, I might, but then with the price nowadays that you've got for 120s, I mean, a couple of years ago, if somebody said to you, I got a 120 gig SSD, it's like 200 or 300 quid. Now it's like
Buttons.
Yeah.
In comparison, at least. But
one thing to remember with SSDs is if you're using it to store data, always back it up on an old SATA, because they have got a very limited write life.
Yeah, they only last for about, I don't know how long they actually last for, but probably about 5 to 10, I would say.
They warranty them for about 5 years. Well, if you look at something like the Intel Pro Series, it's 5-year warranty on them. But generally, you can get about 10 years worth of life out of them.
Yeah, it's like a lot of things. They'll guarantee it for so long because they know it's pretty much safe in that period of time, and then after that, it might last, it might not.
Thank you.
Depends what you use it.
But then again, if you get an OCZ
Hey.
drive, you can just dump it straight in the waste paper basket.
Yay! Getting
Well,
teased for me.
I was
Hooray.
watching
What was that, Martin?
Sorry?
Huh?
She's making me tea. Yay.
All right.
2 sugars, please.
I was watching Linus Tech Tips 2015 build guide when I was stuck in traffic today, and they were recommending if you're spending $1,000 on a system, which is like what, a
700 quid.
system.
Yeah.
They were saying just go for a 1 terabyte SSD because the price has come down so much. I've not looked at something that big for my use, but I know that a friend of mine, a friend of mine learned to fly a helicopter, and he built a PC to run the simulation software to fly the helicopter, and it was ridiculous the spec that he built a couple of years back. But I know that on that he's running 4 terabytes of SSDs in like RAID 10, if I remember correctly.
Thanks, Ken.
It's ridiculous what he's put together.
Well, a 1 terabyte SSD, you can get the Samsung SSD.
Or 239 quid on Amazon. Sorry, 269.
229.
Ah, you found a cheaper one on Amazon.
I'm not on Amazon, I'm on Google.
I'm on Amazon.
But that's from playasia.com, so.
Now, can somebody explain this RAID to me?
Yeah,
I
RAID.
come to a point. There's various stages of RAID.
Careful.
You've got several different versions. You've got RAID 0, RAID 1, and RAID 10, I think it is. It's down to the way the data is duplicated. It's either copied or striped across. But essentially, you get 2 identical versions of the hard drive. So if one crashes, you've got a backup. In RAID 10, I think it is, if one crashes, the secondary drive takes over as your primary, and it can carry on.
Yeah, it's sort of data sharing, so that instead of you waiting for the hard drive to catch up with the data you're feeding it, it's got like another one that it can write to. So
Googled for 1 terabyte SSD.
essentially you get into the stage where you can actually write to the HD quicker, or the SSD, quicker than it can process the data. And that's why they use this RAID setup, which I've had a look at it, and to me it just seems like a lot of cocking about if all you want to do is play a game.
It is a hell of a lot cocking about.
It depends what you're using the computer for. If
Yeah.
you're a professional and you use your computer for work, and it's got to, whatever you do is, high creative work and stuff like that, you're going to want to run RAID. You're always going to want to run RAID, because it means that if something goes tits up halfway through a project, you then have to start from scratch. Because if anybody's like me, I can be an hour, 2 hours into work on Photoshop, something can go wrong, and I've not saved the entire fucking time. I save on exit because I'm lazy.
Or just before you print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
for people like us, from what I can gather from looking into it all, because you do run a risk if you're running a RAID setup that if a drive goes completely tits up. The way I understood some of the setups to work is that half of the data goes to one drive and half of the data goes to the other. So
Yeah, it depends on the version of RAID you're using.
That's right. It's like if you're using a certain RAID setup, it sees 2 drives as one complete drive, and it can write to them as such. So if one of your hard drives goes to you lose absolutely all of the data because the half that's not on the drive that's gone tits up isn't readable, simply because you've lost the other half that makes it make any sense.
Yeah, that'll be if you're using RAID 0.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So for people like us, really, as they understand it, your best bet is buy something like a 250 gig SSD to put your OS on and like your commonly used programs, and then for your big storage, put on a bigger normal HDD drive or a hybrid drive if you want a bit more speed, and that's it.
But don't forget as well, what you can do, even with a standard hard drive, is you can partition it right. If you partition it in the right place, you've got a fast part of the disk and then a slower part. So anything like just images and stuff like that, you always put on the slower partition because they don't take a lot to run. But your programs and stuff, you can put on the faster part. It's not as quick as an SSD, but for somebody who hasn't got SSD money floating about, it's almost as good. There's a couple of seconds in the load up, which, depending on how you work, I mean, quite frankly, if I was doing it for a living, then most of these programs would be open all day anyway, so it's not going to make a lot of difference. But then with Photoshop, when you're working on really big images, you know, anything like 5,000 pixels by 5,000 pixels is a big image, especially when you do it 70 or 90 pixels an inch.
Yeah.
You can get lag sometimes, especially when you're doing block color and stuff like that. You get lag, and when you get the lag, that's when you start making mistakes because you're not seeing in real time what movements you're making. Even when I'm using the tablet, I'm still getting.
Well, graphics tablet. You mean.
Yeah, graphics tablet. Yeah. Brilliant thing.
Yeah.
If I'm just doing maps and stuff, like for the D&D game, I use a mouse for a lot of it, but then I do a lot of drawing anyway, and I do love digital media drawing. It's the way a lot of comic books and stuff are done now. That most of them are digital.
Yeah.
Because I've been working on an Oxymoron webcomic for a while, which has now got to change because we've got a new member of this team, and he's going to be fucking included in it.
Glad to make your life difficult.
But they're only little 3-panel comics, so some of the stuff that I've already worked on can still go up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I've got to caricature the new member without insulting him too much.
Don't bother, it's fine.
The other Martin I can insult as much as I like. It's kind of...
He's always a cunt anyway, it's fine.
Would I be in that comic as well?
When you start producing content, yeah. Oxymoron is a conglomeration of artists.
Yeah.
That means it's me and Ryan.
I'm not producing content until I've got an headset.
I'm being a piss artist, does that count?
No, because you're always a piss artist.
Oh, that's true.
I've seen you 6 o'clock in the morning when you're doing your morning post. That's not coffee or tea you're drinking. That's fermented cane sugar, otherwise known as rum.
I've got to admit, no offence to anyone on Facebook, but I'm not even logging into Facebook now. I'm logging into things and it's like there's posts that are 3 days old. I'm like, I should post on that, and it's like, well, it's 3 days old. It's been and done. So
my posts aren't 3 days old.
No, Keith. But you know, don't be offended that I've not said hello on your post. It's
I know you're
not logging in.
I know you're reading it.
Right, I just want to address a comment that is on Facebook at the moment. Fallout is not a steep game to start modern gaming on. Fallout is a very accessible game because that is your saving. I'm not using it very much because I find the gun mechanics on Fallout 4 to be really quite nice.
I only use it for small fiddly things to hit, like...
Mole rat?
Yeah, the bastards disappearing under the ground. It's better if you get in bats, get your shot in, and
somebody needs to explain this VATS thing to me, because I
It
don't.
stands for Vault Assisted Targeting System. Basically, it slows down time and you get a wire mesh over the whatever, and you get to actually target body parts, and it gives you a percentile of how likely you are to hit them and whatnot. And it also shows you how much damage you'll do to it. Because I've come across a few things.
Well, doesn't that give you an unfair advantage?
No, because most of the time it's shit.
I was gonna say, even like I've done it like on Fallout 4. I've had like 95% chance to hit 6 rounds. Every single fucking one of them is missed.
Yeah. You're best going back to the old first-person shooter, spray and pray.
I tell you what, mate. The mechanics on Fallout 4 for the FPS element is absolutely fantastic. And I know why, because the guys from id Software helped develop it. It's pretty much a watered-down system of what's going to be in the new Doom game.
Doom! Now you're talking.
Which has got me really excited for Doom again now.
Yes, I'm really, really excited for Doom.
Because I think id Software found like quite a nice, happy little home now with ZeniMax. Because ZeniMax have got quite a few companies under their wing, and the fact that Doom is now part of ZeniMax means that they have access to like Bethesda and stuff like that.
I was going to say, yeah, I thought Bethesda were involved with Doom now.
Yeah, it's ZeniMax is the umbrella company basically.
Ah.
But the brilliant thing about ZeniMax is the money that's raised from games doesn't necessarily just go to whichever company made them. It goes to ZeniMax and then they feed it down to everybody. So the fact that Fallout 4 made $750 million on release day.
Wow.
20 million copies on day one. 20% of which was either preload or pre-order. It did fucking stellar. The only game to beat it is GTA 5.
Well, to be fair, there was a lot of anticipation for Fallout 4, wasn't there?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with the marketing strategy. It was, oh, E3's coming up. Oh, by the way, there you go, we're releasing Fallout 4.
In like a month. What? Really?
But the thing is, they didn't give you a lot of information other than the 2 trailers we got. We got an announced trailer, then we got a release trailer, then we got a live action trailer, which was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was good that.
And other than that, the only thing we got was those little Vault-Tec special.
Oh yeah, the special adverts, yeah.
Which were really cool, nice little animation. But they didn't give you much information about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Other than what we'd already seen, we didn't really get any more information about the game. And then all of a sudden, boom, game's here. So you're not bored of the lead-up, because we've had it before, where somebody will announce 2 years in the future. Oh, by the way, we're releasing, well, Kingdom Hearts, for instance. Kingdom Hearts 3 was released, was announced last year.
Well, don't forget, there was 5 years between Fallout New Vegas being released, which was really, if we're honest, only a patch for Fallout 3.
Well, technically, Fallout New Vegas it wasn't made by Bethesda, it was made by Obsidian. So although it was shared a universe, it's not technically a canon game.
Yes, but then you had Fallout 3 that was a huge game that most people who were interested in gaming in the last 10 years have played and been interested in and enjoyed. And then you had Fallout New Vegas coming out, which sort of whetted your appetite, but it didn't have the depth of Fallout 3 by any stretch of the imagination.
But look on the bright side, it didn't have the green either.
So there was that, and then Fallout 3 was like an epic game. It really was. It was one of those ones that captured so many people, and all those people have been waiting for the new game. So they didn't need to do any advertising. The way they played it, by releasing very, very little advertising and very, very little hyping of the game, absolutely worked to their advantage, simply because people are sick to death of hype.
It's the same thing with the trailers for the new Star Wars film. They have got plenty of visual excitement things going on, but there is no details whatsoever available at what the fuck is going on, which is brilliant.
Yeah, but
It's the right way to do marketing as far as I'm concerned.
finally marketing is starting to realise that overhyping shit.
Revealing too much detail, story, plot.
I mean, throughout a lot of the big films that have come out in the last 10 years, you can tell the story of the film simply by the trailers that were watched.
No, I can beat all of this. Like, prime example of not overhyping a game. Duke Nukem Forever.
Yes, indeed. How many? 17 years, wasn't it? 17 fucking years, and it came out and it was shit. I think Ryan's died.
Yeah,
Bond, isn't it?
yes. I think Ryan's frozen.
Yeah.
Just as he was about to go into a big, long, interesting thing.
Right?
I think it was. Yeah.
He's ranted himself frozen.
Lovely time. Even mentioning that game causes crashes on computers.
Or maybe this is the new Google feature of auto-censoring.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yes. Got a chance. You mentioned Duke Nukem Forever? You die.
Just out of interest, David, what processor are you running?
I'm running a rather old AMD. It's 6-core, 1920 black.
No, I like you. You've got AMD. Keith, what you running?
AMD.
AMD.
Yes.
Martin, what you running?
You filthy AMD people. Intel.
So,
Alive.
we're actually still doing alright.
Yeah, you're alright.
Fuck Intel, there's 4 of us still up and running. That'll do for me.
Although, to be fair, on my oldest computer it is an Intel Core Duo 2 thingy.
Core 2 Duo. They were really, really good processors.
They are.
They're actually
It's
still pretty decent.
Something like 10 years old.
They actually still cope pretty well.
I
I
have
literally,
to confess that I've got an Intel Core i5 laptop now.
Hey!
I literally just scrapped an Intel, and the reason it was scrapped was largely because my 3-year-old son climbed on a desk, then climbed on that in order to climb up on a wardrobe and kicked it off onto the floor, and it stopped working.
Oops.
And it was like, well, I could probably fault find it, but it is a 5-year-old processor. Well, it was 5 years ago when I bought it, and then it wasn't expensive when I bought it, so it was probably a lot older than that.
Plus,
Why I have a new system up and running.
plus it's an Intel, so why bother?
Yeah.
What's an Intel?
I've always preferred AMD, I'll be honest.
Yeah, me too. I do love Intel
You're back, Ryan.
AMD products.
Yes, I am back.
Welcome back, Ryan.
You were about to go in and say things about Duke Nukem Forever, and then you vanished.
Oh, yeah, it's the internet. Weird. I don't know.
I thought you had super fast, really awesome internet and stuff.
The last couple of days, when the weather's been playing up, the internet's done this stupid fucking thing where it disconnects everything. But then when you try and load something, it goes onto the router page and it does the self-heal thing. And every time you click the button, it just connects everything straight back up again.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason for that. I can't remember now.
I need to redo the router.
No, it's... I forget. I worked for BT for like 5 years doing tech support stuff. Real
Ah,
tech support,
so-
not just fucking fault-finding nonsense.
So it's your fault then, huh?
No, not anymore. I've not worked there in 3 years. So
Have, they,
it's not
have you
my
still got
problem
the
anymore.
scripts they gave you to fix it?
Well, no, that's what I mean. We were real tech support. We weren't the scripted lot. We weren't the frontline faults. We were the we'll fix your shit no matter what's wrong with it.
Oh, you weren't first line, you were like fourth, fifth line.
Yeah, we were the IT support management teams.
You
You
the
were
people
much-
that didn't turn around and say, "Have you tried turning it off?"
Well,
And back on again.
no, we did do that too. Because that's a standard trope of
Yeah, you were the people that came after someone had turned it off and back on again. And
yeah, usually.
nothing's happened.
Oh yeah, we did everything. We rebuilt servers and fucking the works, you know, everything from desktops, tablets, phones, right through to servers and workstations and things like that.
Now you say that, but my mate had a problem with his computer years ago, and I went round to see him because he'd rung me up to say I need help with my computer. So I went round to see him. I said, "What's up with it?" He said it wouldn't load. I said, "Have you tried looking at it in a stern manner?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Have you tried shouting at it?" He said, "Yes." I shouted at it, tapped it on the top, just a nice firm tap, press the button, on it came. Perfect.
Magic touch.
I do actually have my magic tech support tool here.
All you need to
Yeah,
do is threaten the
that'll work.
computer with it and it'll start working.
Works on the modem
No.
every time.
The fact that you have that within reach from your office desk bothers me.
What you want to do is you want to keep the old computer, when you're done with it, you just beat the shit out of it, right? And then when the new computer starts playing up, you just point at the old computer
See
and
that
go,
one? That'll be you in a minute.
Oh, there's a classic scene in a film, Office Space. They take the laser printer out into the field and they literally bash the living stuff out of it.
you can swear on this show, it's fine.
Okay, they beat the living shit out of it.
Because I say cunt all the time.
Yeah,
But I say
he
it better.
does. He does, yeah.
You do say it.
Martin does say it better.
It's the accent, can I say? I'm blessed.
Actually, saying that, I did put this on Facebook the other day. I did borrow a Scottish line the other day with a customer when they were annoying me. They were really annoying me, and I just went, "Get tea fuck."
They're close, but not quite. But hey,
I know, yeah, but I'm not Scottish.
yeah, true.
And at least I'm not doing a Billy Connolly, which is what everybody does. When they want to do a Scottish accent, they do a Billy Connolly.
See, that's the funny thing though about people doing Scottish accents. That 90% of the time, people will start trying to do a Scottish accent and then they'll float into Irish. It's hilarious.
I love when people try and do a Welsh accent, because they do it, and then eventually they end up Indian.
Yeah,
Or Jamaican.
yeah, totally.
See, that's my problem. I'm not allowed. Well, I say I'm not allowed. I don't go to Wales very often because if I'm there for more than a couple of days, I just regain the accent real quick. Just, I don't personally think that I have an accent. I think I have quite a boring monotone voice, which works well for what I want to do.
No, you do actually. You don't have much of a...
You do have a little bit of an accent.
I, to be honest, mate, I go Cockney more than anything else, and I'm not even from London.
You can tell you're not from the north.
Well, you can tell I'm not from the north. Yeah, I don't drink enough.
What are you trying to
There's
say?
no whippet, but you got the flat cap.
Yeah, true.
I have, but I'm wearing it. This is bling style.
He's wearing it in a fashionable manner.
This
I've always
is
wondered actually, every time I've seen you, you're always wearing a cap. What is wrong with your hair?
You don't bald.
Going bald.
nothing is wrong with my hair. Well, other than the fact that I've got this weird fucking centre parting shit going on.
It's the same
Throwback
with me.
from
I'm
the
always
90s.
wearing a cap as well.
I'm always wearing a cap, mate.
That's it. I just didn't know. I thought you
So I
might.
put my cap on backwards as well.
Hey!
There you go.
See, I always thought you might have had a massive, long, girlish hair under there or something.
No, I've just got that.
Yeah.
I'm very much like Keith, except probably got less hair up front.
I shouldn't talk. I've got the whole fucking thing going on here.
There you go. I'm going to wear my cap backwards for the rest of the show.
That's actually one of the reasons. Plus, if I'm not wearing a hat, my hair tends to be sort of slicked almost back, which is usually for weddings and funerals and stuff like that. Places where it's not acceptable to wear a hat, or not acceptable to wear a hat the entire time, anyway. And then I just look like a Russian gangster.
Brilliant. You should embrace that look. Buy yourself one of those fucking Russian hats with the flaps on.
No, because nobody will see the hair. I gotta get one. One of the big
Yeah,
puffer
one of the big
jackets.
overcoat things, totally. Yeah.
Right. Start wearing tracky bottoms and knock off Nike trainers.
Or you could just go for the shell suit.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Go full
Shell
shell
suit,
suit.
but carry a hacksaw with me wherever I go.
Listen, I've got a game for us to play.
Oh good God, no! I'm not playing that game again. Last time I ended up naked in an Inverness.
No, this isn't that bad.
Actually, no, it wasn't Inverness, was it? It was Glasgow.
Yeah.
Was it Glasgow?
No, it was Aberdeen actually.
I've just shoved a picture of me into Just Vape Social. When I was
We
online.
were talking about accents not long ago.
I'm not playing a game where we're doing voices.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. It's my show, and I say we're not.
No, we are playing a game where we do accents.
I'm not very good at accents, you know.
Okay, you do accents, and I'll judge.
No, you're playing as well. What we
Them's some curly locks, guards.
Shut up, everybody, for a minute. Let me talk. What we're going to do is, whatever the last comment is in chat, we're going to start with whoever somebody picks. We're going to pick one accent. We're going to read the last comment out in chat in that accent. And then then we choose, that person chooses the next person and says what that person has got to say in whatever accent that person chooses.
Yes, Sean, I used to have long hair, and I will say, when you look at that picture, there's no crimping, no curling, no nothing. And the hair at the back went down to my shoulders.
The only question I've got to ask, Gords, is are you getting back with the boys for the Backstreet Boys reunion tour? Or?
Well, you can't see everyone in that picture, but certainly one of the boys, no, I won't be getting back with because he was my best mate and we lost him 17 years ago. So no, we won't be getting back with the boys entirely. But yeah, I used to have fucking really long curly hair, and I loved it as well. The only reason I shaved it off is because I started going grey, which is more than abundantly obvious these days.
Hey, see, we've discussed this in the past. Once my hair starts to really go, especially up front, for a while I am going to do the whole monk thing and just shave the top bit and just have like the thing, just because it's going to be a laugh. But after that, I'm just going to bick the entire lot and grow a big ass fucking beard.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of getting grief about the beard at the moment. And the other thing is, I go to a lot of food factories and I have to wear beard suits. And I cannot tolerate things touching my neck. So
Yeah, we talked about this last week, man.
yeah, I cannot do. I like my beard and I'm comfortable with my beard and stuff, but if I have to go somewhere where I have to have something touching my neck, then the beard's going to have to go. So hopefully next week you'll actually see me looking presentable rather than like Wolverine or something like a look on the screen at the moment.
You actually look a little bit more like Sabretooth than Wolverine,
Yeah, that's true.
which is a saving grace because I think Wolverine looks like a bit of a dick, to be honest.
What I'm quite pleased about is you can't see him with Dave Kitson dual silver bits that are going on down here.
It's the Badger look.
Yeah.
Wait, let's talk about badgers, please. Badgers are vicious, horrible animals, and they deserve to be killed.
Anyway, we've got a comment that we've got to read out in an accent. Who wants to start?
I suspect that he's actually talking about my friend Neil's teeth.
Yeah, possibly. You need to start, Keith. It was your idea.
Well, I'll start and I'll do a Scottish accent.
I'm not nearly drunk enough for this game.
I don't do accents, I'm from the fucking north.
There's only one accent you can do, and that's
Well,
that
that's an accent.
Gords does one accent, and that's Gords.
Yeah, exactly. Why would I replicate an inferior accent?
No, I can't do that comment, that's too short. I'll do the one before it. Blinded fucking shit keyboard.
Yeah, teeth. Sean, I've got really good teeth. I've got to nearly 40 years of age and I've no fillings or fuck off.
that was almost chewing the fat like there, Keith. Well,
Is that any good, Martin? For a
that was
Scottish,
alright.
for a Scottish accent?
Have you seen Chewing the Fat or still game?
No.
Right, get on YouTube and watch them because they're fucking hilarious. But yeah, that was close to one of them.
Well, I'm going to go to Martin next, and I'm going to say Australian accent. Read the last comment out from chat in an Australian accent.
How the hell do you do an Australian accent?
Australian accents, just like try and sound as much like a convict as you can.
Just think Neighbours or Home and Away.
Oh,
You've
Jesus.
never seen Neighbours.
Find something to stick with.
I have seen them. I never paid that much attention.
Did they ever find Harold Bishop?
Yeah, he was under the patio. No, wait, that was Brookside, wasn't it? Hang on.
I can't do. I can't visualise Australian at all.
It's all like, good day, mate, put another shrimp on the barbie, you know, all that shit.
That's just you in a fucking Worcestershire accent.
Excuse me, this is not a Worcestershire accent, I'll have you know, because I can actually pronounce vowels and consonants.
Consonants.
Vowels and continents. Right, Martin.
Fucking Dudley. Come on then, Abab.
What? Oh, me? I honestly I can't
Just do your best, man.
do my best. Jesus, do my best as this. No, I'm going to have to Google for Australian accent because I really can't.
Just sing it at Foster's adverts.
Yeah.
And then try and put them out your mind.
Because it's a substandard beer.
Yeah, it is.
That's not beer.
And trust me when I say this, they don't even serve Foster's in Australia.
Do they?
Or Castlemaine 4X.
No, they have taste.
Yeah, pretty much what Sean said in chat. Just say that. Exactly how it's written.
Yeah, last comment in chat.
Good day, mate.
Yes.
That'll do.
It's like when somebody wants to do Jamaican, you just make them say beer can sandwich.
Yeah.
But quicker.
To be fair, asking a Scottish person to do a different accent is kind of like ripping one of the legs off and asking them to do a sprint.
But now, Martin, you can go ask somebody else to read the last comment in chat in a different accent.
In fairness,
Ah.
I've never known a Scottishman do a sprint unless he's running from the popo.
Well, true.
You've never seen me run for a bus then? The only reason we ever run is for a reason running away from something or running to catch something.
I'm glad you said
Right.
that and not me.
There
Come
is
on then,
no
Martin.
reason to be running otherwise.
Who's next?
Oh well, Gord's can do it, I suppose.
In what accent?
Oh God. What accent? Try a Londony accent, whatever that accent's called.
In
Cockney.
what? In
What?
what?
Cockney accent.
Yeah.
Cockney?
Cockney.
Cockney.
I am Cockney, don't you know?
Oh, we can all do the sort of, we can all do that posh accent thing, I suppose.
The posh accent isn't an accent though, it's just a pretentious shit with a stick up his arse.
Yeah.
So you know
Nice.
big words. Do you know annihilation?
Annihilation. Yes, thanks.
Yeah, it's a good word. I like annihilation.
I also like genocide.
Oh, let's not go there.
I've always been a big fan of perspicacity.
You?
Perspicacity.
Who's
I-
next?
I quite like the word mastication because it sounds dirty when it really is not.
Yeah, that's true.
Depends what you're doing with your mouth, doesn't it?
You know what the problem is right now? I'm looking at a really good comment to do in the Cockney accent, and yeah, I can't think what a Cockney accent sounds like.
Well, Cockney accent isn't really an
Yeah.
accent so much as it is just.
Apples and pears and things like that.
Well, that's Cockney rhyming slang, isn't it? That's not technically the accent. The accent's more.
In it now, mate.
No, the
No,
accent.
that's East London.
I was going to say, at the moment, Cockney's a bit like, you know,
Don't give him
I'll
any
fucking
clue,
stab you. I'll fucking stab you.
mate.
So don't forget
Like
to
that.
be a
He's a
real
Glaswegian one, man. Aye.
to be a real Cockney, you have to be born within the sound of the bells of Bell and Bow.
Which,
Sound of-
considering they haven't
sound
rung
of
them
bell
for about
bells.
40 years, is a bit
Yep.
impossible.
See, if I was to try this one, then it'd be like, never mind the air, mate. Look at them gnashers, like an ad for Colgate, nearly bleeding bling me. And that's as close as you get to me doing an accent.
Well,
She's basically just
just basically,
Me, I'm from fucking Manchester. We speak how we speak, and that's about it.
well, that'll do. Choose somebody else and choose an accent.
Right, David.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at what's going to actually work, because I don't want to be a right cunt.
Well, you do,
Well, yeah, but no.
but
Alright, this will be good for a laugh anyway. Do a northern accent of your choice. So you can pick anything from Teesside to like Stoke.
Hold on,
That's
Oxford's
not
north,
north.
eh? Where I grew up, Oxford is in frigid north.
Yeah, it's
he's
not
a
me.
wide variety, David.
And me?
A northern accent, pick a sentence of your choice out of chat. And go for whatever you feel is a northern accent.
Is Dudley north from us? Dudley's north from us, isn't it? Everybody around here can do a Dudley accent. Because we
Alright, consider the cut-off line to is Stoke. So you need to be above there.
Where the hell is Stoke? Oh, okay.
Anywhere above Stoke.
above Dudley.
Okay.
So like an easy one would be a Scouse accent.
Yeah, I was thinking that actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what a Scouse accent sounds like.
Hey,
What's
hey,
is that
hey,
Manchester,
calm down,
Liverpool?
like, calm down.
Hey, calm down.
Arian.
Like, you know,
I want some brekkie in that.
It's like, you know, you don't really care, like.
Exactly, Keith's got a Scottish accent nailed there.
He does.
You just don't really fucking care, like.
Keith, have you done any time in lockup?
I am actually.
Anybody can do an Irish. No, gone into Irish. Oh,
Yeah,
Ireland,
gone
Lord.
straight into Ireland, which is technically not for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, goodness me.
I do Northern Irish. Northern Irish.
Northern Irish.
Anybody can do an Irish potato.
There you go.
That's fucking damn good, actually.
Yeah, but that's not a comment in chat, though, is it?
Yes, it
It
is.
was, yes.
Yes, it is.
There's
That's
a
a
comment
comment
here that says
in chat.
anybody can do
Right,
Irish
it is, yeah.
potato.
I didn't see that. You're right.
Potato.
Okay, David. There's only Ryan left.
Yeah, cheers, thanks for that.
You're welcome. Okay, Ryan.
Choose an
Anyone can
accent.
chat and do a West Country accent.
He's really good at phonetically guiding us the way as well.
He is
Yeah.
actually doing quite a good job there, yeah.
Wait, hang on a minute. A
You
West
can't,
Country
you
accent.
can't choose
Tell
a
us
West.
what, Sam.
You can't choose
Go
a
on.
West Country accent.
Sean,
Okay,
that's getting on it.
also-
Try the Yorkshire farmer thing. There you go.
I Yorkshire farmer. I don't do Yorkshire farmer. I do Gloucester farmer.
Is that a difference? Okay.
There's a very big difference between Yorkshire farmers and Gloucestershire farmers.
Okay, point out the difference. Then.
Gloucester is all about them apples. Yorkshire is
Rhubarb.
rhubarb. I used to actually do a really, really, really good Jamaican accent, except I can't do it anymore. And I
Yeah,
don't.
man.
No,
Yeah,
it's,
man. You know what I mean, man.
it's with the Jamaican one. It's more about elongating words. It's like
Rascal.
no, it's like yeah, man. You know what I mean? You gotta really just let it roll.
Yeah, rascal, bumperclad.
Right, bearing in mind I've just been watching Firefly. I know quite a few Cantonese swear words right now. It's not apples, it's apples. Oh no, wait, that's Cockney, isn't it? Cockney!
It's all apples, not apples.
Apples.
Yeah, but in Dudley it's apples.
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 In Dudley, I'm not quite sure they know what fresh fruit looks like.
Yeah, right.
It's the things on the back of the iPads.
No, they're not iPads, not in Dudley.
Oh, okay.
In
No,
Dudley,
we can't afford iPads in Dudley.
they don't have apples, they just have pears.
And there's no iPad, it's just a piece of slate and a stick of chalk.
They're Ling Rao Fei tablets, brought in from China and sold at the local market for about 25 nicker.
Some of
No,
them,
it's not even that, Ryan. A tablet in Dudley is just a tablet of stone. And you write on it with chalk.
so you mean it's got an infinite power source? It works in bright sunlight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got a really, really fucking good battery life as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah. Infinite battery life.
And
Well,
it doesn't get damaged when you use it to smash a spider.
No.
Well, it depends on the thickness.
Well,
Yeah.
that's true.
And the spider's life bar.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the,
I
on-
met some
the only
spiders.
one that's prone to breaking when you drop it is the slate. We do have one called a slate.
Right, so we've done the ridiculous accents game thingy.
Yeah.
Badly, but we did it.
Very, very, very badly, but we got through it in the end.
Keith, it's not a thing that I didn't want to play. It's just I'm not really fucking drunk enough to play it properly.
Well, get drunk enough then.
I can't drink that much. I got work opening in the morning.
Ah,
7 o'clock I'm opening the office.
Yeah, I'll be up at 6.
Yep, and I got 6 o'clock every day next week except Friday.
I'll be up there at 6 o'clock every day and Friday.
I will say this now: if JV Live does go ahead next week on Friday, I might be exceedingly drunk.
Why would that be?
Because I have got to go and say my final farewells to somebody, and family tradition dictates that I get hideously drunk.
Okay, cool.
Family traditions, eh?
Then I will get hideously drunk with you.
Because it is a family tradition. We've upheld this tradition for many years. And we believe that, even though we've moved into the 21st century, some traditions should not be quelled.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, I'm away next week as well. So I'll be missing again.
Well, like I said, I mean,
Obi-Wan McCall, what is the matter with you?
No, it's nothing.
he's obviously got to go and save a galaxy far away.
Well, this is true.
My
Yeah.
brother's engagement party thing down in Glasgow, so I'll be down there.
Not a galaxy far away then.
Marriage, almost as depressing as a funeral.
Yeah. But yes, Ryan, if you're here, we will get hideously drunk together.
It all depends whether I'm actually copacetic enough to actually set up the stream and everything. Because I might do it before I go out, but then I might not. I might do it when I come back in.
Just make sure you do it.
Believe it or not, Dudley has one of the best tech companies in the world, Dudley Design and Tech.
Yes, it does.
Never heard of them. I'll take your word for it.
The only Dudley I'm concerned with is the one that can perform a 3D.
Whatever that is.
It's a wrestling thing.
Ah, okay.
So maybe
I just zone out when you mention wrestling.
that's because you got no imagination, kid.
Yes, probably.
I don't watch TV very much, and I definitely don't watch fucking soap operas.
Neither do I, mate.
Closest I get to a soap opera is Red Dwarf.
Same here.
And technically Red Dwarf is a soap opera because that's the way it was originally pitched to the BBC. It's the only reason it exists.
Yes. When are they going to make a new one?
They're making a new one now.
Yep. I think it's
Started
coming out
filming
next year.
last week or something, didn't they?
Yeah, started filming on last Friday.
Are the original cast still there?
Yeah. That Craig Charles guy, he's doing Emmerdale or something, wasn't it?
He was doing Coronation
Street, yeah. He quit that to do the new Red Dwarf or something, didn't he? Or he took a leave or whatever.
No, he quit.
He quit.
He's done now with Coronation Street.
Right.
Because the problem with Coronation Street and Emmerdale and that one, the EastEnders, is it's really shitty hours. Because you can be on set from 6 o'clock in the morning until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, bloody hell. That's harsh.
Some days you don't have to go in at all because you're not filming. But other days you're in all day, every day for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you don't get days off. Not like
normal people.
Yeah, because
But
even
you
if
do get paid obscenely well.
you get paid all right. I wouldn't say it's exceedingly right. I mean, you're not earning millions of pounds a year doing it.
Yeah, you're probably earning a good bit more than your average fucking punter, though.
Oh, yeah.
They can pay the mortgage.
I would imagine so.
Mortgage? I don't think any of them's got mortgages.
No, I wouldn't think so. I would think they own their homes already.
Well, to be fair, what was his name? Barry or Bruce or something? The dude who played Les Battersby on Cora, he was paid a mortgage, and after he left, I was told to leave Coronation Street. That all fell through, and he's properly on his ass. So they've not paid that much to be brutally fair.
No, they paid about £100,000 a year, something like that. Some of them, a lot of them. The bigger names, the people that are draws, will get paid a little bit more, but
Well, that's enough to buy a house, surely.
Oh, of course it is, but if they don't use it sensibly, then, you know. You see, this is the thing. They start getting paid these obscene amounts of money, and they just don't act like normal people anymore.
Exactly.
They're just,
Yeah.
I mean, if you or me was to suddenly land a nice, easy job that you enjoyed doing, and you were getting paid 100,000 a year, you'd use that money sensibly. You'd be paying your mortgage off. You'd be doing this, that, and the next. Well, Ryan maybe not, but he's a bit of an idiot.
Yeah, Ryan. Ryan, maybe not. Yeah.
I mean, don't forget, if you were getting paid £100,000 a year, that means you can get a £400,000 mortgage.
Well, there's that.
Are you then going to buy?
But I wouldn't get a £400,000 mortgage.
No, I wouldn't either. But we're coming from a different background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
If you're able to get a £400,000 mortgage because of the cash that you're expecting to come in, are you going to settle for an £125,000 house? Which I can tell you, 125k up here. Yeah, it buys. My house was less than 125k, and it's nice. But if I was able to step up to that higher tier, then I would.
No.
I wouldn't.
I think part of the problem with these people that have money is they don't realise that how to live on a scale of a normal person or your average person.
Exactly.
I think the issue.
I would stick to just a normal house with a normal mortgage and just pay it off. You know, be able to pay off in easily manageable payments.
I think the issue comes that they believe they have a slightly higher status than they actually have, and they feel that status dictates that they have to do things slightly differently.
Well, that's the problem.
That's
the problem.
That's their problem. I 100% agree with you. But it's an easy trap to fall into when you have that cash available to yourself.
The problem is not the cash that's available to them. It's not the lifestyle they become accustomed to. That's part and parcel with it. You can still maintain that lifestyle with having minimum output. The problem is because a lot of things are paid for them, especially when they have to go and do the promo stuff and they have to go and do this, that, and the other, the awards ceremonies and stuff like that. They're all paid for. They lose sight of the value of money.
Yeah.
It's the same with children. Children don't understand why they can't have that £400 game console at Christmas. Because that's a lot of disposable income for a family to have. £400 is a lot of money. So that's alright, we're not on the breadline, but we're not far off it. Really, in retrospect, looking at it properly, we're not far off it. We're maintaining and we're going. But majority of people are living pay packet by pay packet, so you're making every pound count. I do it. I don't buy stuff anymore. Like when I go to the supermarket, I don't buy. If my shopping's comes to £30, it comes to £30. But I won't go out and add an extra 20 quid on top of that because I saw a DVD I want and this, that, and the other. They get misguided on the value of money because they're not spending the money properly. They're not investing the money. They're not having to spend the money on stuff because a lot of it's being done for them. When they're on set, all their meals and stuff are prepared for them. And it's not lowbrow food. It's not like going to a kid's party when you were 7 or 8 and having, little fucking finger sandwiches and plates of party rings and shit like that. It's proper food.
No, to be fair, I do work for a couple of companies that do look after production teams. And I mean, yeah, everything's transportable, but they're cranking out decent food. You know what I mean? It's not shit.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked on a few and know a few people who work on them now still. And basically, what you're talking about is a 4 or 5-star kitchen in the back of a trailer.
Yeah,
You know, the lorry
Yeah.
pulls up, the trailer's there, and the kitchen is fully kitted.
yeah. I mean, the firms I work for, they have a mobile home that supports their staff. They have a 7.5 ton truck that is the kitchen cum canteen, and then they have a support van that literally carries the food, and that has a trailer attached to it that carries the dry freight. So you're talking, for a production crew, 3 vehicles and trailer just to drag the food in and prepare it. So they're not fed on shit. And if all that is free, you're easily talking, particularly if they're eating a dinner and a tea on set, you're easily talking 10 or 15 quid covered in food. Easily.
Yeah, and when you're not having to spend that on food, you think to yourself, oh, well, I can go and have that 70, 80 quid main course down in whatever fucking restaurant it is. It's,
Yeah, and all this is totally ignoring whatever habits they pick up or they're accustomed to, that suddenly find they have a massive cash outlet to support. So it's very easy to say, well, you're earning 100k a year, you're coining it, but people don't always behave sensibly with the money.
no, I mean, there's a lot of people throughout that have. I mean, as much as I can shit on him for his fucking wooden acting and stuff like that, I mean, Keanu Reeves, somebody who earns a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, but he does an awful lot for his production crew, and he sort of bumps up his team's pay via the money that he earns off the films. Although he earns a great deal of money, he actually uses that in what I would term to be a good way.
Oh yeah, and not only that, when he wants to get about, he doesn't have limos driving him in there. He doesn't have a Lincoln Town car driving him in.
No, he doesn't waste his money.
He gets on the subway.
He lives very sensibly in order to permit him to better spread the wealth that he acquires. And I think he should be saluted for that.
Yeah, true.
Right, this one's going to surprise you all. Pamela Anderson lives in a small little townhouse in Malibu. Alright, not a cheap area, but not a big house. She doesn't live in a massive house. Her kids go to state school because she thinks that sending them to a private school will be a waste because they'll get just as good an education at a state school. And she is trying to give her kids a proper upbringing. She's trying to bring them up like every other child in the country is being brought up. Yeah, that's a state school in the States, dear.
This is the thing about education. It's not necessarily the place you go to get educated. It's the actual ability or interest of the child. If they
And
want
also the
to be
backup of the
educated-
parents.
Yeah, if they want to be educated and they put time and effort into it, they will be educated regardless of the school that they go to.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of it's down to teachers, though. I mean, I've had
Yeah, it
people
can be. It can
in
be.
the past that really want to be there, really want to help you. Will literally, when the class is all going on, they will stop and they will make sure that everybody's at the same level. Or when the class is going on, they will know just by looking who's going to have trouble. And when everybody else is sat down doing their thing, they'll go around and they'll give help to the people who need it, opposed to just giving help to the people who ask for it. But I mean, a lot of education is just wanting to be educated.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it.
I enjoyed it actually.
I
I
enjoyed
did
some
that
of
lot
it.
still. I really did it. I like learning about shit, but it has to be stuff I'm interested in. From
Yeah.
that's the original point.
Well, it's like I really wanted to do history when I was at school, when you choose your subjects, but the one history teacher that I actually liked and got on with, and she was a bit eccentric and a bit all over the place, but she was fucking brilliant because the first year we were there, she taught us all shorthand. She took 3 or 4 weeks and taught us all shorthand, which, if you don't know shorthand, completely and utterly changes the atmosphere of everything, because when you're taking notes, you're not worried about missing words out. You literally get everything down so quick. In fact, you're 9 times out of 10, you will be in front of the person who's speaking, because shorthand is just so good. And she taught us that. But then the other teachers we had, the one was a fucking job's worth, who knew nothing about history whatsoever, was trying to teach me about World War II and trying to give me facts and this, that, and the other, which I know for a fact are not true. Tried to point this out to him, but because we had to use an antiquated history book, that's what's in the history book, that's what's in the syllabus, that's what's true. No, bollocks. The truth is the truth. You can't fucking change the truth. But yeah, I really didn't get on with him. And to the point where she told him to go jump off a fucking cliff. Well, the exact conversation was, I got in trouble for talking during class when we had a substitute teacher, but she was a little sexist bitch. The girls could do no wrong, but the boys were all guilty from the moment she walked in the room. The end of the lesson, she let all the girls go. I had band practice, I wanted to get the fucking hell out of Dodge. But she turned around to us and said, "You were talking." So, me being me, I'm very rarely short on fucking words. Stood up and said, "Well, you can do what you like, but I'm going. See you later." So she had a go at me for talking during class and said it was you who started all the talking, blah, blah, blah. I said, hang on a minute. I said, the girls behind us were talking a lot longer before we were fucking talking. I said, we had finished our work by the time we were talking. You couldn't finish the work I set you. I set you that work. It should have taken you an hour. It couldn't have taken you 10 minutes, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, obviously you have no concept of the intelligence of the people in this room. I said, almost everybody was finished within the first 20 minutes. I said, if you've underestimated our intelligence, that's not our fault. It's your fault. You're supposed to be the teacher. You're supposed to be the one guiding us. And so far, the only thing you've guided us in is the fact that we all unanimously fucking hate you. So she went to go and fetch the head of history. So he came in and she gave him her side of the story, and then I gave him my side of the story, pretty much exactly the same. And then he went, if I jumped off a bridge, would you follow? Yes. Yes, I fucking would. Just to make sure that you hit the fucking bottom. Needless to say, somebody was in detention for a while.
And it wasn't a history teacher.
A detention I still have yet to turn up for. 15 years later? I've never turned up for a single detention in my life. I've had so many and I never turn up for them. Because I can't see the point in it. Plus, I've always had other stuff to do. Like go home and play video games.
The important things in life, after all.
Hey, look at me now, I'm a YouTuber. That's important to me. The video games are important. That time I spent as a child playing video games is paying off now.
Yeah.
Granted, we have like fuck all subscriptions and the views on the videos are pitiful, but...
Early days.
That's how every YouTube video channel starts off.
Exactly. Early days, we're just starting. Yeah, we've been running for a year, and I was doing it for a year before that, but that's not the point.
Let's face it, you've got more than I have.
And more than I have.
But the thing is, at the moment, while we're not getting the views and while we haven't got the subscriptions, now is where we can make the stupid mistakes and we can get them out of our system and we can get into a rhythm and we can sort things out. And I think that's like anything. You need that time to just practice and get stuff out. But there's no point practicing making the videos and then never showing anybody, because if you don't show people the content, then you're never going to know what people actually want to see and what people don't want to see.
Yeah.
This bottle of rum was going down a bit.
But that did bring it, because I like making films as well, and I just thought of a really good short skit. The only problem is I really need Todd Howard to be in it.
What you should do is the
How
guy's
likely
fucking
is
loaded.
that going to happen?
Pitch it to him, and he might just go, you know what, that sounds like a good laugh, and he'll come and do it.
Basically,
It's
what I'm
not
saying,
like you couldn't afford to come over and go, aye, let's do this shit, and then fly home.
what I'm thinking is, have you ever seen Oliver?
Yes.
I'm thinking instead of like gruel being put in the bowl, it's just a copy of Fallout 4, and then afterwards you just go back up and go, please sir, can I have some more? I didn't get wet.
Yeah, probably would.
Quick 30-second little video, probably going to cost about 100,000 to make.
It'll be fine.
I say pitch it, you never know, he might just go, fuck it, that sounds like a giggle, let's do it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll start writing up the script later. Brilliant thing about Oliver is it's public domain.
Ryan, what's the worst that can happen? You can say no.
Todd Howard can tell me to fuck off.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's
That
the
would-
worst that can happen.
That
He
would,
might feature you as a gang member in the next game, or a character in the next game.
well,
Exactly.
the next one should be an Elder Scrolls game, which should be interesting. I could do that. I could be the king. I could be the king. Patrick Stewart's been the king. Why can't I be the king?
Yeah.
Because you didn't do Star Trek Next Generation. Just a thought.
No, I tried.
But you could have done.
I could have done. I would have been exceedingly fucking young.
You would have been shut up, Wesley, wouldn't you?
But you would have been exceedingly fucking good.
Yeah, I would have been. I would have been the best. I could have been Wesley Crusher. Pissies.
Cardboard cutout could have been Wesley Crusher.
Oh, don't knock it.
Can we just be you saying engage?
I like that actor. He's quite funny, and he does lots of geeky
Who?
roleplay shit.
Oh, he's got good now, but in Star Trek TNG, he was terrible.
No. I just need
No.
I just
Stand
I
by
just
me.
see
He was
Brian
terrible.
saying engage.
I wouldn't be the captain. I wouldn't want to be the captain.
Why?
I could never be Jean-Luc Picard, so I could never be the captain. There's only one captain in Star Trek that's worth anything, and that's Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, that's true.
And I could never be a Jean-Luc Picard, so I would rather be a Will Riker or a Geordie LaForge.
Or a data.
Data's too. I don't know. Data's too wooden. I like expression. I like using my hands. And
Okay.
I just wouldn't be able to do that whole android sort of pseudo.
Okay, be a Beverly Crusher then.
No, I'd quite like to have had a crack at being Q.
Oh yeah, Q
That
would
would
have
have been
been
a fun part
brilliant.
to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B&Q, you know, DIY store.
Do you know, in the new series, if they do a Q, I'd really, really like Alan Tudyk to do it.
Yeah.
Because he's got that sort of expression-y face where he just pulls these weird expressions out of nowhere.
Have you seen Con Man yet?
No.
Oh, damn it. I need to dig that out.
Right, bear with me a moment. We'll probably do the roundup because it's 10:30.
20 past.
So, we've got 10 minutes yet.
No, I do need to retire for tea.
At this time of night, you mental.
Exactly.
You steps on only came on half an hour ago.
Oh dear, oh dear.
You can always duck it out, Rose, and we can carry on.
Well, I think I may have to.
No, it's fine. Just yeah, we'll do the wrap up and shit. 'Cause
Just say your goodbyes, Gords, and we'll carry on, mate.
You mean quit halfway through a job?
Yeah.
You don't know Melbourne's.
It's a work ethic like that that led the British car industry to be the great success that it was.
Yes.
Which was mostly based in the south, I should probably say.
It is now, but I'm thinking Rover, British Leyland, Land Rover.
Yeah, don't talk about Land Rover.
Good call, David.
Please tell me you've been having a conversation while I've been away.
no, we were just waiting on you coming back. We'll
Yeah. Welcome back, Ryan.
Oh, do you want to carry on or do you want to end it?
No, we'll carry on, mate. We'll carry on.
Oh,
We'll
you lot decide what's happening. I'm going for a piss.
You
Right,
carry
we'll,
on.
we'll go down the line as it is on my screen. So Keith, you're next for a Jimmy Riddle. Then it's Gords, and then.
I've been for a Jimmy Riddle. I'm fine.
I've done it.
So yeah, Alan Tudyk as Q would work.
Yeah, well, having him as captain would be better.
No, there's only one captain. If you're going to cast any of that lot as a captain, it's Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Hmm.
As the internet meme says, he was my captain before he was your fucking castle.
Yeah, but if you're going to have anyone as captain of the Enterprise, it's got to be Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
So any of the others have got to fill other roles.
But that's the thing, you can't recast that crew because that crew was fucking brilliant. All I'm saying is they're doing the new Star Trek, and if they're going to do a new Q, then Alan Tudyk would be brilliant for the role. Plus, I like to see Alan Tudyk working.
Yes, well, if they're doing a new Star Trek, then let's think about who they're going to cast as the new Star Trek crew.
Well, I would like a competent female captain.
Female captain.
Yeah, but they've got to be competent.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sold on the female captain thing.
I've got it. I know who could be.
Janeway did quite well.
I know who could be the female captain.
Yeah, actually, Gord, you might be onto something there. I'm thinking that Janeway might be a candidate for the captain of the Enterprise, actually.
No, because she's already captained Voyager, and that storyline's been and gone. Jada Pinkett Smith.
Who?
She was brilliant in Gotham.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Gotham, so I wouldn't know.
She plays Fish Mooney.
I wouldn't have a clue, mate. So.
You should watch it. It's quite good.
Though to be fair, if you're going for a more light-hearted Star Trek, which I seem to be getting more light-hearted, how about Claudia Black?
No, I don't really want to go light-hearted. I want to stay serious and sci-fi, you know.
It won't be.
Depends
They'll be all
what they're
touchy-feely
doing.
like they've been going lately.
Part of the problem we have with Star Trek is that who is it? CBS own the rights for the TV series stuff.
I want to stay on the same level as Patrick Stewart was.
You're not going to get the same level as Patrick Stewart unless you cast Ian McKellen as a fucking captain. Which I would love to see, but
Then
We can make it Sean Bean, and everybody will just sit and wait for him to see when he's going to die.
That's the twist. He actually dies in the first episode, and then the rest of the episodes.
Someone new.
No. The rest of the episodes is just a fever dream he's having as he's lay there dying.
Yep, that'd be good.
Trying
no,
to find out who killed him.
Part of the thing with the TV series end of it is that CBS owned the rights. Now, CBS also gave the permission, as it were, to what's the company? I forget the game. Star Trek Online. I can't remember the company. But they've actually had some really good storyline shit going on. Okay, the game itself's a bit clunky and some sections are fairly boring, but the actual storyline itself is actually pretty damn
Can we
good.
just go back to the fact that some of the parts of the game are clunky and some parts are really boring? Like the 4.5 hour fucking tutorial, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's 3 minutes, if that.
It's skippable now. It's not that long anymore.
When I was playing it, it was not skippable, and it definitely was not fucking 3 minutes.
And it was definitely boring.
But no, it's worth a look. They made a lot of progress in that game over the
Yeah.
years. It's actually pretty decent.
Last time I played it, it was fucking boring.
Yeah.
But last time I played it, they had only just brought the Klingons in.
Yeah, that was right back at release.
Oh,
time.
you've got Romulans now as well, and many, many other races.
Yeah, it's worth a look again, and since it's free to play, it doesn't cost you shit at all, and so on and so forth. But as I said, CBS actually gave them.
more on Guild.
We'll end up with 2 people in it.
I've got a spare fleet if you want to join.
But yes, anyway, CBS gave that company Perfect World.
Keep talking. I'm most
Cryptic, yes.
definitely not re-signing up for Star Trek Online.
Me neither.
So they were quite happy for Cryptic to run with storylines and stuff. Now, what they actually did with the storylines is actually some of it's actually really fucking cool and very interesting, very very Star Trekky, and very well written and played through.
Have you
Which
tried
may-
some of the recent ones?
I haven't tried anything since the last 2 I've missed. The one where Harry Kim came in back into it. That's the last one I did.
Okay, that's when I stopped playing, but then it's come back
Yeah.
again, and you've actually
Yeah, there's
got,
been 2 more since.
been a massive war,
Yeah,
a temporal war.
that's the one. Now, if the new TV series has any sense, they will either do some of those storylines, or some sort of continuation or amalgamation with the game storyline, because some of it, as I said, it's actually been really bloody interesting and really good and really Star Trekky and proper Star Trekky, not sort of cheesy Enterprise-y type Star Trek.
And I don't know how successful Defiance has been as a computer game, but the TV show's been hit and miss in some areas, but
Yeah.
joining the two together was an excellent
It was
idea.
quite clever, yeah, totally. Defiance, played that for a bit. Didn't really get into it. I dropped it when something else came along that I preferred to play. But yeah, I quite like the TV show. It's decent. We have a serious lack of decent science fiction shows, though. Real. It's getting better, especially with all the sort of DC and Marvel stuff starting to come on.
In fairness, I mean, we had Dark Matter. That's a pretty.
I've not started watching that.
I
yet.
lost
Again,
interest
decent.
about third or fourth episode of that.
Oh no, man! You just struggle
Persevere.
through, right? That third or fourth episode was a bit slow, but really just struggle through because after that, everything really opens up. And I was just about to say something about Dark Matter, but it seems as 2 of you haven't watched any of the episodes that really got good. Because I really wanted to watch it, and then I said to Ree, I want to watch that, and then she said, do you know who's in that? And I was like, no. She said, Jodelle Ferland. Jodelle Ferland is my pick to be the next proper little screen queen. Right. She was she played Alessa in Silent Hill, and she's done a shit ton of fucking horror films
I know who you mean.
and horror series. Yeah, she was a little girl in Kingdom Hospital, if anybody remembers that, way back when.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so she's actually really brilliant, and I think she's a brilliant little actress, especially for somebody of her age. And this show is actually really good.
I do agree with David and Martin that the new Star Trek series should tie in with the game.
Only in the fact, the only thing I'm thinking with that is that CBS gave them permission to use it and develop the storyline and stuff like that. Why waste what they've done? Because, like I said, some of the stuff's actually really, really good, and you know, good fun, good story, good plots.
Not only that, it will bring together the Star Trek audience that watch the TNG series.
See,
The audience that play the game.
Unfortunately, the TNG audience has been marred by Enterprise.
See, I
Hey.
did enjoy Enterprise. It wasn't as good as any of the other Star Treks. No, it was no Deep Space Nine.
I was put off by Enterprise.
But if you persevere through sort of when it first aired, I watched the first episode and went, "This is pish," and never watched it again. And then I persevered my way through the first series, and it actually did get really good.
Right, I'm just going to point this out now because this is my main gripe with it, and it doesn't feel like a Star Trek series. And you know why?
Definitely.
All the time traveling nonsense.
No, it's not even the time traveling nonsense.
It's too shiny.
It's not only that it's too shiny, but it's the fact that it has a fucking theme tune. Because I like to watch shit back to back to back to back.
Yeah,
Right, I like to binge watch stuff.
me too.
I watch it when it first comes out, and then when it's all finished, I'll go back and watch the first episode again and watch it all the way through. Which is a pain in the ass for series like Game of Thrones because I have to go all the way back to Series 1, watch all Series 1, 2, yeah. Just to remind myself what's going on. But
I need to start Walking Dead before February, actually.
I miss that whole space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise.
Right.
It's in...
5 years.
Hey, you're getting a fucking echo from Keith now.
Yes.
I was monologuing, man. Monologuing. Don't interrupt me, man. I was monologuing.
Go for it, Ryan.
I'm a trained thespian, don't you know?
Have you got the equipment for that sort of thing?
Go on, Ryan. I won't interrupt you now.
No, I'm done now.
It's in a huff, look.
To explore
No.
strange new worlds.
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Actually, in
Where no
TNG
one has gone before.
You see, I never liked that. That annoyed me.
What? Why?
Because if no one had ever been there, how are they running into people and talking to people and things? Aliens.
As the universal translator.
Q is someone, and he's been everywhere. Okay.
Wait. Does that mean next time Q turns up, he's got to start singing "I've been everywhere, man"?
So yes, that no one has gone before.
Right.
I get it. The whole
First
sexism
of all-
thing. But we are called as a species mankind. So
Right.
it's not sexist. It's just what.
It just is.
Yeah, but it had to be done for,
Fucking psycho feminists. Yeah.
TV for TV purposes.
But
yes,
when you turn on a TV show and all you get is "It's been a long time getting from there to here," I'm just like, off.
Well, you see, I
Yeah.
fixed that on my NAS box by editing every episode so that the opening titles aren't there.
Yeah, I did
It
that
just
too.
goes straight into the episode and there's no end titles either.
I need to speak to you.
I'll burn a DVD for you.
It's it's basically it's the first. It was always exactly the same. I didn't cut them, but it was always exactly the same time code that it finished because
Yeah.
it was like was it a minute and
It's
26
because
seconds or something? You just skip it, Play. There we go.
It's because they paid Bryan Adams for the song, and they were like, fuck it, we paid him for the song. We're not going to do what we did with TNG. In the first series, it's going to have a long intro, and then after that, it's just going to be the short fucking intro. Right? It's, we paid for the fucking song. We're fucking using it.
Yeah.
Then also the person who sung it had major surgery on his throat afterwards and I don't think he can sing any longer.
That's fucking karma for you.
Russell Watson?
Yeah, because wasn't it a Bryan Adams song, but it was their version of the Bryan Adams song?
Something like that. I was always too busy skipping forward to see the titles.
It's such a shame that it wasn't Bryan Adams who sung it, if whoever sung it can't sing again.
The sad fact is that I used to know the order in which the titles came up on the Star Trek TNG titles. I knew the order in which they came up on the screen.
Do you know what?
Just a sad fact.
I'm going to say this. I still miss Tasha Yar.
Yeah.
Good God, that was like the first series she vanished.
Yeah, me too.
Skin of Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Black Goop.
God,
Tasha Yar was
Black
awesome.
Goop of Doom.
Mm-hmm. But then from DS9, I prefer Jadzia Dax to whatever the other one was.
Kieran
X-Ray.
Curzon Dax.
Which one are you on about? The first Dax or the second
The
Dax?
first Dax.
Yeah, I prefer the first Dax as well.
Yeah, oh yes, aye.
Yeah, the first Dax was better.
The second one's a bit...
Weedy. Whiny.
I could never figure out whether it was a girl or a boy.
Uh-huh.
It's sort of that asexual sort of appearance, and it freaks me out when people have got that.
Yeah, that'd be me in trouble.
You must hate looking in the mirror. That's why you get a beard. Sorry. You left it wide open. I can't resist these things.
Cheese has been delivered.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Not to a very best expression either.
Send her apologies
Yeah.
for distracting you. But do make it clear it's entirely your own fault. Because we told you to go.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we did, yeah. We did say you should say goodbye and just go, but you decided to stay, so...
Blame Fat Boy, he's not here.
Yeah, blame Fat Boy.
The rules of Oxymoron are, if a moron's not here to defend himself, it's his fault.
Exactly.
But that's the thing about him, he's never here. Yeah, he's never anywhere.
That's why he's always his fault. He's always somewhere, he's just never here.
Just never doing things he's supposed to be doing.
And this room is rather nice.
I think I've talked to him once, actually, when we played Payday at some point.
Oh, for all the 30 minutes before he got annoyed because he couldn't play the game.
Yeah, he kept doing something wrong.
Yeah, that sounds like Fat Boy.
Yeah.
And okay, he's fairly active on Facebook and stuff, and I suppose I talked to him a couple of times on your 24-hour stream and whatnot, but yeah, it's never around.
He's not around much.
Need to sort that out, Ryan.
What?
I don't know. Go and, like, time his computer and switch his camera on or something. make him do something.
Hack into his webcam.
I'm sure there are some Japanese websites we could sell that feed to.
Look, I'm not being the one that's doing that, okay? I value what little fucking sanity I have left. It's not a lot, but it's...
Yeah. Trust me,
It's not much, but it's mine.
you don't want to hack into Fat Boy's webcam. No, definitely not.
You want to talk to him on Skype when he's pissed.
No, I don't. I really don't. Definitely, I don't.
Next time I'm on Skype with him and he's pissed, I'm going to invite you all to the fucking call.
No, don't. Please, don't.
Be nice.
Who, me?
All of you.
I can't be nice to Fat Boy. It change the fabric of space-time.
It was. It was actually kind of fun talking to him on the 24-hour live stream and his crazy friends.
He's alright, Fat Boy is.
Yes. You shouldn't mind him so much.
I love him like my brother. The only problem is I'm not that fond of me fucking brother. No, I like Fat Boy's alright. The thing I always say about Fat Boy is he's blunt and to the point, and I like that about people.
Yes.
When you can have a conversation that starts with "All right, cunt," "All right, cunt," it's going to be a good conversation.
Indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've actually been out drinking together because when we were in Shrewsbury, we went out drinking together. Although I say we went out drinking together.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I went out with him and followed while he drank.
I was doing a lot more drinking than he was.
Yeah, you had to carry him home, didn't you?
Did I fuck? The manager of the pub came over to me and Jim because we were talking to Eddie, you know, Black Hack.
Yes.
We were talking to him in the pub, and the manager came over and said, "Excuse me, your friend, right? We think he might have had a bit too much, and we'd like him to leave." And me and Jim at the same time both went, "Great."
So send him home.
So Gray came over and was like, "Yeah, probably." So we sent them two back to the hotel. Then Gray came back to the pub. Yeah, good times.
I went back with them. You told me you'd be back home back in the hotel within an hour. You turned up at 2 o'clock in the morning pissed.
With a kebab. Hey?
Nice one, Marie.
I had finished mine, yeah.
Yeah, and you still missed the woman for the paper.
Yeah, well, I didn't exactly do what Jim did I?
What did Jim do?
I'm not telling you on air because I value my friendship with Mr. Cracken.
Damn. Juicy gossip there.
But what me and Jim get up to when there are no cameras and people about is our business and our business. Look.
Thanks for that piece of information, Rick.
Everyone knew that we're going.
Well, generally, yeah. Unfortunately, the women folk have to put up with us both. So.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
And it's fucking depressing.
Look at me, I'm fucking gorgeous. Oi. Go away.
I'm gonna get naked.
Okay.
Turn the camera back.
It's an argument to start, Ryan, but I can assure you it fails.
My dad taught me when I was very young, don't argue with women. Doesn't matter whether you're right or fucking wrong, you will never fucking win.
No.
No, you won't.
Women have an answer for everything.
Yes.
And a reason for absolutely fucking nothing.
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Dodd splits up the keys for the
I
doors.
will agree with that. Welcome back, David.
Thank you very much. Can't do with this being sober thing.
Is that a bottle of port, old boy?
It is indeed.
It's starting a bit late.
You are starting a bit late, David.
But then I do have masses of Lemsip and other drugs running through my system, so it shouldn't take me long to catch up.
I will be brutally honest, I'm going to abscond in a second because I'm getting far too much shit every week.
Yes. I think we might actually start finishing at a reasonable hour.
Yeah,
But the problem is, even if we finish, say at 9:30,
We'll still be sat here fucking nattering shite.
Yeah.
for another 2 hours anyway.
What time
Oh
did we
yeah,
get off?
definitely.
What time did we get off last week, Gord? When it was just you and me? It must have been almost 11 o'clock at least.
It was about 11:15.
No, it was later than quarter to 11. It was gone 11.
Oh well, that depends what time you started, because I think the video was about 2 hours 44.
No, we started well on time. We were like literally fucking bang up.
Yeah, I think a minute or two after that was it. We were straight on because it was only me and Gords. But when we finished, we actually sat down and talked for a good hour or so afterwards.
Yeah, it was like nearly midnight when I crawled back up
Nice.
towards God Central, and yeah, Mrs. Gods was not very pleased.
You can blame me, mate. Everybody always does.
No, fuck it. You know,
Yeah,
we were talking about important shit that was relevant and stuff, like Star Wars and that.
Yes, we were. And I keep thinking about a Star Wars book, and I can't remember what it's called. But basically, Han and Chewie crash land on a planet, which just so happens to be Earth. Han Solo gets killed by the natives, and then Chewbacca is hunted for hundreds of years. They think he's the Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
no, they think he's 20.
That is most definitely not a sanctioned Star Wars book. Why is the cat throwing herself at the windows?
Because cats are stupid and they like doing things like that.
Seriously, I'll just open the door and you can walk in. You really want to be here?
Maybe that's a cat's way of knocking.
She's a fucking lunatic.
Or it's trying to get away from the zombie in the garden.
I'll be really honest, I've seen this cat take on a Doberman. I won't mind, but she's a stumpy little fat thing. Come on. Come on. Say hello to the audience. See,
Aw, kitty.
Yeah.
she's not a big cat.
See, go on, stop pussy.
In fact, she hates everything that exists other than herself.
Sounds like my old cat. My cat hated everybody. Except me.
Get on your chair. Settle down.
Yeah. The only time she went near me was when she was pregnant and I wasn't around. Yeah. But yeah.
No,
So,
we used to have loads of big cats that came visiting around these days, and then she got snipped and was allowed out. You don't see any of the others now.
Uh-huh.
She's literally knocked the fuck out of all of them.
Your cat's a thug.
She is. She's a thug. Well, we did get a warning. She came from a friend of mine. And we picked her up, and then he said, "Look, I do need to warn you that she's got a bit of a killer streak in her, or she likely has. You'll have to find out when she gets bigger." Because she came to us as like an 8-month-old kitten. You know, she was literally at the time where they could be separated from the mother. That's when she came to us. So she was still tiny when we got her, and then she had to get older, and then she'd have the sniff, and then she could go out and stuff.
Right.
And he said, like, "I've got to warn you because this has literally just happened. But the mother dragged a squirrel through the living room window, which is 6 foot high, and killed it in front of us."
Nothing wrong with that.
Now,
Nothing to worry about there then.
for a cat to catch a squirrel in the first place, because squirrels are, believe it or not, quite vicious animals. They will fight their corner. So for a cat to, number one, hunt down a squirrel, and then render it unconscious enough to drag it through a living room window that's 6 feet up in the air, is going some. But the fact that it dragged it through alive into the living room and then killed the fucker in the middle of the living room floor and sat there like, "Look what I've done." I'm awesome and stuff.
Look how hard I am.
And she really has. I mean, there were some big cats that used to come round our place, like Western Maine Coons and stuff like that. You know, big breeds of cats. And she's a fart-ass little scroll of a cat. She really is. You know, she's a proper moggy. But she's battered everything within range. To a point where you see nothing on the street other than our two cats. And the other one's Egyptian, he's soft as shit. He's got no interest in hunting or killing or anything, but this one, you're a lunatic, aren't you? Eh? And before she could go out, she used to think nothing and beating the shit out of me and Tony. She'd just jump on the sofa to claw our feet and stuff like that. Leave it. You're not having the chicken.
That's why she wanted to get into summer house.
Yeah, she's a bleeding maniac. But she's not greedy. Sutty's the one that usually grabs everything.
Very nice.
What's the do,
That
boss?
sounds tasty.
Right? Come on. Come up and say hello. See, this is the face of a vicious killer. See it? She's talking about it.
What about the cat?
Well, I am, but, you know, try and keep that bit quiet.
Excuse me.
Right, it is almost 5 to 11. I think this is a good point to actually end the broadcast.
I agree, because I'm going to get savaged in a minute.
Indeed.
So, would we all like to do our goodbyes? We'll start with Martin, as he's the next one on my list.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for watching.
That was longer than your hello. Congratulations.
You should have done that in a Jamaican accent, Martin.
Keith, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, goodbye, man. See you next time, you know what I mean, man. Yeah, man. Check it out, man. Oxymoron Gaming, man. Yeah, man.
Gord, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, alright, cheers for joining us. We'll see you next week.
And David, would you like to say your goodbyes?
Cheerio, see you all on the other side.
And I will say it's been lovely having you all as guests. Thank you for joining me on this edition of JB Live, which I think I titled You Can't Take the Sky From Me. I'm not quite sure. There's been a lot of Firefly going on lately. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, share, and annoy us in the comments. We kind of enjoy it. Tatty bye.